very pleasant good afternoon to one and all in the region, across the nation, and around the world. We welcome you back to the Steel Yard in Gary, Indiana. We say back because we haven't been here in a while, because yours truly got sick, and our schedule has been once again dented by Mother Nature. First of two we have here for you on this Saturday, as my partner is laughing at me, Victory Christian and the Gladiators of Gavit, as we present our continuing coverage of the 12th annual Railcats High School Baseball Challenge. Good afternoon, everybody. Brian Snow, joined by my partner in crime, Mark Farina. And we actually have baseball weather this afternoon.
Well, baseball weather, but more importantly, I'm happy to see you're back recovered from that nasty stomach flu stuff.
The past 2 weeks for me, health-wise, have not been good, dealing with a migraine and that doggone stomach flu. Well, it's not fun.
Well, and for anybody who has had stomach flu, especially the strain that's been going around in different parts of the country, believe me, I understand how you'd be knocked out for a stretch of 4 or 5 days. It's nasty stuff, and I'm really happy to see you back on your feet and ready to do some baseball. We had kind of a lost feeling this week, not doing baseball, and
I know,
just,
I know.
When you're not working.
And Liz even asked me, she says, "You're not doing baseball this week?" And then she saw me, and she, that's what happened. Yeah, well, she understood. She really, really understood. Victory Christian is going to take the field for their infield, so we are going to have our pregame show right now. And it's driven by U.S. Tire and Auto of Gary, Indiana. Give a call to 219-884-4600. And if you mention that you heard us on this program, you will get a 10% discount on your next set of tires and a 10% discount on your next set of auto work. That's U.S. Tire and Auto of Gary, Indiana. Visit them at 3350 Grant Street here in Gary. It does feel good to get back at it. I mean, after a solid week and a half off, part of it because of schedule, because Mother Nature decided to act crazy again, and the other part, human nature decided to act crazy.
Well, you're not kidding. And I have to tell you, like any business that you're in, or really any passion that you're in, when you're not doing it unexpectedly, you feel kind of lost, because that's how announcers are. We are at our best and our most comfortable when we're working, when we're doing games. It can be a grind at times. It is a fun grind, if you will. But physically it can be a grind. Some of the traveling that we've had to do, some long drives and things like that.
Oh, gee, where was the first one we went to? South Bend, Indiana.
Yeah. Well, we were in South Bend. We did 2 games there in the span of a week.
Yeah.
So, it's interesting when you finally are able to get back in the booth, and it's, you get that little kid in you, and at the same time, forces you to get back in preparation, find out as much as you can about both teams and get a sense. And in this first game, we've got 2 teams that have been struggling, the Gavit Gladiators from Hammond, Indiana, and the Victory Christian Lions, a tiny school over in Valparaiso, Indiana. Gavit, in one sense, has had a little bit better run so far. Well, Gavit's the one that's really struggled. I take that back. They're the one that struggled. They're 0-5 coming into today's game. They haven't been able to put many runs on the board, and they've given up quite a few runs. They've only scored 6 runs in those 5 games, and that's a pretty glaring stat there. And on the flip side, they've given up 45 runs. So
the other glaring stat on the other side of that coin.
So when you do your quick addition, it's not a really good situation that they've run into. But this is a team that's had some talent over the years. And you never know, a game like this in this kind of environment could be a real spark plug for them. As for Victory Christian, they come in with a record of 3-1. 3 of those victories, however, were against the same team, but still, they're 3-1, and they've been able to put some runs on the board. So it'll be interesting to see. On paper, you'd think the bigger school in Gavit would have the upper hand over the tinier private school from Valparaiso in Victory Christian, but that's why they play the games.
Exactly.
They don't just roll the ball out there and say, well, here's the victory.
That's exactly why they play the games, and we are going to have a couple of them for you. Our nightcap will come at approximately 7:15, but right now we're going to pause for a break. And since I haven't had a chance to work with this man in about a week and a half, I'm going to have a little fun. We're going to have a little fun conversation. You're inside of the U.S. Tire and Auto pregame show. It rolls on after this. You're listening to the 12th annual Railcats High School Baseball Challenge, driven by U.S. Tire and Auto of Gary, Indiana, and you are hearing it live on ASN.
The good news about a company that started 4 years ago and worked at a relentless pace based entirely upon one simple premise? Have you heard the good news about a place you can go to enjoy positive, community-oriented information about the town, city, or region that you live in and the people involved? Have you heard the good news that you yourself can share stories about this same theme to others in your community? That place is LaPorteCountyLife.com. At LaPorteCountyLife.com, you can celebrate a company that had a crazy dream based on a belief that positive breeds positive, and that people want to read, hear, and watch stuff about good people. At LaPorteCountyLife.com, you can go to a place to enjoy positive, community-oriented information about the town, city, or region that you live in and the people involved. Want to see more? Want to read more? Want to hear more? Then go to LaPorteCountyLife.com. Have you heard the good news? At U.S. Tire and Automotive, you'll find passenger tires, performance tires, truck and SUV tires, and more from proven brands including Bridgestone, Firestone, and other leading industry names. Conveniently located in Gary, Indiana, and providing great service to customers in Gary, Griffith, Hammond, Munster, and Highland, Indiana, U.S. Tire and Automotive offers brake service, alignments, oil changes, shocks and struts, tune-ups, and other valuable services to get your car, truck, minivan, or SUV back on the road. Give us a call at 219-884-4600 or drop us an email at info@ustire-auto.com. Mention this ad and receive a 10% discount on auto work or ask about our tire specials. U.S. Tire and Auto, servicing Gary, Indiana and Northwest Indiana since 1991. Get your best price on Ford trucks, Focus, F-150, Explorer, Escape, and Lincoln MKS, MKT, MKX, MKZ, as well as Fiesta, Fusion, Taurus, Mustang, Navigator, and all other new Ford Lincoln vehicles at the all-new Sowers Ford in Lincoln, Northwest Indiana's newest Ford Lincoln dealer. We offer new and used Ford Lincoln vehicles, parts, service, and used cars. If you are in Northwest Indiana or near Michigan City, LaPorte, Hobart, Burns Harbor, Valparaiso, Chesterton, South Bend, or Portage, there is no comparison to the other dealers around town. We are about to earn your business with top quality service and the most competitive pricing in Indiana. Stop by today at 3930 Franklin Street in Michigan City or give us a call at 219-879-5381. That's 219-879-5381. Or visit us online at www.sowersauto.com. Sowers Ford Lincoln, Northwest Indiana's newest Ford Lincoln dealer.
I didn't want to frighten my partner with that. Welcome back to the Steel Yard in Gary, Indiana. Along with Mark Farina, Brian Snow here with you as we continue our coverage of the 2014 Railcats High School Baseball Challenge. It's presented in part by U.S. Tire and Auto of Gary, Indiana. U.S. Tire and Auto located at 3350 Grant Street here in Gary. And of all the times that Mark and I have been coming to Gary, Indiana, we've enjoyed every single time we've been out here, and we thank the good folks at the Railcats for allowing us to deliver this broadcast. I'll tell you what, man, we've taken some good trips this season, this early part of the season alone, with the games that we've done. But this is our third year covering the Railcats Challenge. The kids appreciate it. The schools appreciate it. I know that. And we've had some good games here.
Oh, we absolutely have, and I think that's the beauty of coming out to a ballpark like this, is because we love coming out to a beautiful minor league ballpark, as is the case here at the Steel Yard in Gary, Indiana. But you can imagine what the kids must feel like, especially if it's their first time here. So some of these schools have played here every year or a number of years. This is the 12th annual challenge. So you can imagine how exciting it is for them, and especially if they're playing a rival school to win and win in a venue like this. So it's fun for us, but when you're covering high school baseball, and also when you're covering, let's say, small and mid-size Division I college baseball like we're doing with Valparaiso, you don't have that whole commercialism type thing. You don't have all these guys who've got shoe contracts already at the age of 16 and who are looking for dollars. These kids are going to be playing
enjoying it.
They're enjoying it, and they're going to be playing it for the love of the game. Truly, there might be a couple of kids who are prospects for college programs, but for the most part, the NAIA games that we do with the CCAC, the Chicago Collegiate Athletic Association, those games we did with Roosevelt, and which we're doing this year. That's the best part of it, is these kids are really down to earth. They're very family oriented. We've gotten to know the family members of a lot of these kids. We've gotten to know the coaches and some of the administrators of the schools, and that's the beauty of it. Would we like to both be sitting in the booth right now at Wrigley Field doing the Cubs and Reds?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yes,
there's no question.
Yes.
Any broadcaster, any announcer worth their salt would be saying that.
Mm-hmm.
But we have an interesting perspective doing the games here, and we've been able to kind of coordinate our schedules so that we're kind of able to pick and choose situations and venues and things like that. And as I've said to people before, I appreciate the opportunity that you've given me. We've had so much fun together. Traveling,
we've had a blast.
Broadcasting, and
I tell you what, we've had a blast. And last year we introduced the IHSA state playoffs to our broadcast coverage. We'll have that again beginning in May, but also the IHS AA playoffs will accompany that, also beginning in May. As on the 14th we will be in Joliet. 13th and 14th will be in Joliet covering the 3 and 4A state tournament. And also the weekend of the 21st we'll be down in the capital city of Indianapolis checking out the state championships there that will be played at Victory Field in Indianapolis. So we got a lot more baseball to bring to you guys. Here's the most interesting thing that I found when I started doing a little research. I'm taking my partner's job away because he's director of broadcast ops, but I did a little research, and I found two very interesting things when we line up our IHSA coverage. Not only is Brooks hosting a regional, they are also hosting a sectional in Class 3A.
That's very interesting that they would be hosting both at Brooks Field. That's a nice ballpark field there in the Roseland neighborhood, adjacent to Brooks High School, which, of course, for those of you who are not familiar with the area, Brooks College Prep High School took over the facilities of Mendel Catholic.
Yes.
The all-boys Catholic school, and consequently there have been some beautiful additions that were added to that facility. But they've got this beautiful ballpark there with some nice, really nice coverage seating and everything. So you can understand it. They've got the seating capacity if they get a pretty decent crowd that they can handle it.
Yeah, the first time we were there, what happened? A 13-inning game. Yes. There's just something when you and I get together, or when I team up with my buddy Mike Ventola, that extra inning games always happen around me. I don't know why that's the case. Because the first year we did Roosevelt, we had a 10-inning game against Cardinal Stretch. And that's where the adventure happened in Crestwood, where we tried to find our way out of that place. Mark Farina, Brian Snow here with you. We're continuing our coverage of the 12th Annual Railcats High School Baseball Challenge. This portion presented by Starbucks of Michigan City, located at 4411 Franklin in Michigan City, Indiana. Good shout to the folks there. My good friend Sarah, who I had a chance to meet this past week. Also, it's presented in part by Wood Forest Bank of Michigan City. Mark and Brian here with you at the Steel Yard in Gary, and just having a good time, covering some good baseball. You know who else is hosting a section of that we may head back to? Lincoln Way West. And remember the fun we had at Lincoln Way West.
Yeah, it would be nice. Nice to go out to New Lenox again. They've got a beautiful.
Oh my gosh!
Their facilities.
Anybody who lives in the area or has seen any of the Lincoln Way campuses, and this is Lincoln Way Central, East, West, and now North, as there are 4 Lincoln Way campuses. Anyone who has seen any of the 4 Lincoln Way campuses knows how beautiful those campuses are. And I kind of wrote this down already that we're going to go to Lincoln Way West and do the sectional out there in mid-May. But we got something else coming up on May 17th. That Saturday it may be a doubleheader for us. It just depends on the time. But we got some more special kids that we're going to be doing some games for. Those are the kids in the Noble Network. Their baseball and softball championships happen to fall on that day. We're trying to get the times coordinated, and thanks to you for getting me into that network, and also to Melissa Avalos for allowing us to do those games. It's just a matter of getting the times coordinated.
I'm going to be doing the public address for the championship game, the boys' baseball championship game,
and it's at Chicago State.
Yeah, at Chicago State.
You know what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to get Melissa to play the softball game at 10 a.m. so that way I can do that game. And I'm hoping it's at USC. I'm waiting on an answer on that. And then get done with that, and then race over to see you at Chicago State, and then we blow the joint out.
Absolutely.
And the kids deserve it. The kids absolutely deserve it, and they get such a kick out of it. And speaking of which, I had the time of my life covering Marquette Catholic this past season and their run to a state championship. And I know you had the pleasure of sitting as a PA announcer at the United Center. Man, I can't even describe to you what a feeling it was to be on the floor at Bankers Life Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. My good friend Donna Cavanaugh of Cavanaugh Live joined me for the call. She's a Marquette alumnus. Let's see. It was a 10 a.m. start, and there were 11,000 people in that place.
Yes. Yeah.
There were 11,000 people in that place. It was unbelievable.
It's one of the great things. I mean, I've been very fortunate in my life. I had seen a lot of very interesting things, met a lot of interesting people, celebrities, athletes, success stories in business and government and things of that nature. But the beauty of doing the public address that we've done, no matter what level it is, and no matter how many people may be actually in the stands watching it harkens back to when we were high school kids.
Right.
We never lost that kind of feeling. And I'll give you the best example. My senior year at Steinmetz, our team was one of the Cinderella teams. We were one of two Cinderella teams that made it all the way to the Public League semifinals, the Public League Final Four that year, which was at back in those days at the International Amphitheater, that really cruddy facility on Halstead, which had the worst basketball court I've ever seen, with more dead spots than a cemetery.
More dead spots than the Boston Garden.
That's right. It was unbelievable. But it was a thrill to be there.
Yeah.
And we packed the place, as did Manly, who we played in the semis and unfortunately lost to. And I'm sitting there and I did public addresses, back in high school for our football and basketball. And I said to myself, boy, I'd love to be doing the city championship game like this someday. And sure enough, 2 years ago,
You and I both have had that opportunity because, and it was both at Chicago State because I knocked it out in 2012, and you followed me the past 2 years. I'm sitting next to a class act here, folks. I mean, Mark, you have been such a joy to work with. I love you dearly. You've added so much fun to this, and also a mutual friend of ours and a good friend of yours joined me when Steinmetz played Schurz at the United Center. Jim Moscow joined me, and that nutcase had me laughing.
And we say that
I love you, Jim. I say it out of love, Jim, and Jim knows he's nuts.
It's true.
Jim knows he's nuts.
We're all a
little bit crazy, okay?
That's how we keep our sanity. Is some of that
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, he had me cracking up the whole time because he's like you. He'll wait for me to pause and then he'll zap me.
Exactly, and he's good at it.
Yes. Oh boy, Jim, we love you, and Jim, I thank you for coming on with me that afternoon. Oh my goodness, we're just having a whole bunch of fun here, folks. As the Gavit Gladiators in these dark gray uniforms, and Lord knows we've talked about uniforms. Man, I don't even have to finish this sentence.
They have what I refer to as football annature
nightmares. Yes, nightmares.
Because they have these charcoal.
And you and I have done enough games for football with these.
We can judge
with these nightmares. The one team that always gave me problems especially when I was the full-time PA at Gately Stadium, was Robeson.
Yeah.
Robeson drove me nuts.
And you know what? It's funny. The one that it always drove me nuts the last few years has been Roe Clark Academy, the Noble Street School. And the coach agrees with me. He said, "This is what we had. What I inherited, or they ordered." He said, "When we order new uniforms, I'm going to take your advice and make them a lot easier to read." So he agreed.
Oh man, and it's like we mention it, and we're like waiting for the coaches to take advantage of it, and finally some of them do. We're going to pause for a break. When we come back, we'll stop all the hilarity. Oh, who the heck am I kidding? There's going to be more hilarity. Mark and I will be back with the introduction of the starting lineups, and we'll get this party started. It's the Gavit Gladiators and the Victory Christian Lions. You're listening to the 12th Annual Railcats High School Baseball Challenge, driven by U.S. Tire and Auto of Gary, Indiana. And, folks, you're hearing it live, along with the rest of us, on the Arena Sports Network.
Listen closely. It's the sound of a typical Friday night at your local high school football field. Or a Sunday afternoon at Lucas Oil Stadium. It's the sound of teenagers stretching, growing, developing the skills they need to get the most from life. Or of the Indianapolis Colts chasing another Super Bowl title. Either way, it's the sound of people rallying around the home team, feeling good about themselves and their community. It's more than a typical Friday night at your local high school football field or a Sunday afternoon at Lucas Oil Stadium. It's communities all across Indiana coming together and reaping the benefits of sport. The IHSAA and your Indianapolis Colts, bringing communities together. The Indianapolis Colts are proud sponsors of the IHSAA State Football Tournament.
Planning an upcoming event? The completely refurbished Diamond Club at U.S. Steel Yard is available year-round for birthday parties, wedding receptions, business meetings, conferences, and a wide variety of other activities. With a full service bar and the ability to accommodate groups of up to 300 people, the Diamond Club is the perfect place to host your next event. Fully customizable food options through Aramark are also available. Call the Railcats at 219-882-2255 and have the Railcats fashion an event your friends, family, clients, or colleagues will never forget. The Gary South Shore Railcats, redefining fun. What is the Times Media Company? The Times Media Company is a vital and integral part of the Northwest Indiana region. We are the #1 source of news and information and pledge to not only be the first to bring you news through our online platforms, but also be the best at taking you deeper into the stories that matter in your lives through all our products. From our daily print newspaper to specialty publications to online and mobile sites, we connect people with content that informs, entertains, and engages. More than just local content, but content that is important to local people. For more information, log into NWI.com or call 219-933-3200. The Times Media Company. We are where you need us to be.
When your vehicle needs service, look no further than Sowers Ford, a Ford dealer like no other. Our state-of-the-art service department is fully staffed with certified technicians who can handle anything from routine maintenance to the most difficult diesel repair. Brakes, tires, and batteries. Sowers Ford service has it all. Sowers Ford, serving Michigan City and surrounding communities. Sowers Ford Lincoln, 3930 Franklin, Michigan City, 219-879-5381, or visit us at SowersFord.com.
You talk about a good version of the national anthem. Play ball indeed.
Well, it's a different version than what we had a couple weeks ago with
the
sounded like Jimi Hendrix guitar version solo of the national anthem. Well, hey, to each his own. I wasn't saying I didn't like it. I'm just saying it was different.
Different to say the least.
So the Lions of Victory Christian take the field.
All right, here we go. It's time for our starting lineups presented by Sowers Ford of Michigan City. For the Gavit Gladiators, they line up this way. Leading off is the catcher, Jocelyn Barris. Randy Ferguson bats second. He's in right field. Jorge Perez bats third. He's at first. Anthony Gibson bats fourth. He's the shortstop. Mike Anguiano bats fifth. He's the designated hitter. Tim Gomez bats sixth. He's at third base. Brandon Brogdon bats seventh. He is the starting pitcher. Oh, boy, here we go. My favorite name of the whole tournament so far. Brandon Thongswath bats eighth. He's at second base. And John Wilson bats ninth. He's in center field. One more time through the order for the Gavit Gladiators. Lumberis, Ferguson, Perez, Gibson, Anguiano, the DH, Gomez, Brogdon, Thongswath, and Wilson. And that's our starting nine, presented by Sowers Ford of Michigan City, Northwest Indiana's newest Ford Lincoln dealer. Call 219-879-5381 or visit SowersAutos.com. Here's Mark with the American Family Insurance defense.
And taking a look for the defense for the Trinity Christian Lions out of Valparaiso, Indiana. It'll look like this left to right. Boston Jarvis will be in left. The center fielder is Mac Price, and in right field will be Ethan Hancock. Your infield third to first, Ben Fiore at third, shortstop Sam Linden, the second baseman Evan Wilson, and over at first is Gabe Frayne. And your battery of starting pitcher Calvin Riesinger and starting catcher Joey Verche. In this game, Nathan Nichols will DH for the first baseman Gabe Frayne, who generally is busy with his ushering business. Do Andy Frayne ushers still exist, or is it all private or something type of?
I think it's all privatized right now.
Well, the Andy Frayne ushers, okay. I got a few more for you.
And the bad part is I know a few who work for Andy Frayne, all right?
Sure, we all do.
Jocelyn Barris will get things started for the Gavit Gladiators. Calvin Riesinger rocks, kicks, and deals. Swung on. First pitch grounded to second. Dropped. Throw to first, not in time. And that's how we start here from Gary, Indiana. First pitch is thrown at 4:37 p.m. Central Daylight Time. First pitch temperature, ready for this figure, folks, 65 degrees and wonderful.
And not much of a breeze. A little bit of a breeze coming off the lakefront.
So well, it's the lakefront.
Exactly.
Randy Ferguson.
Either that or the...
don't say it. Toss to first, runner back.
Either that or the U.S. Steel plant out there, maybe some wind coming from the from the smelting plants.
And I used to live out here. It actually happens.
Yeah.
Riesinger from the stretch kicks and fires a fastball, high ball one. Throw to second. He is out.
Yeah. Dead to right. He had him. Great throw from the catcher.
Man. Joey Verche.
Verche, the catcher, is a sophomore. He was not only a catcher, but he's also a pitcher and plays some infield. Very versatile young man, and he just showed it with his arm.
He sure did. Next pitch is a strike. That'll leave in the count 1-1
Put out was 2-4 on that one to the second baseman.
And I mean, Verche threw a rocket.
Randy Ferguson, the batter, is a sophomore.
From the windup, the 1-1 pitch. Fastball outside, 2-1.
There's another versatile young ball player. He's completed the infield positions as well as the outfield, which he's playing today in right field.
2-1 the count. The kick and the pitch. Swung on and found out a play to the right. And it's over the roof. No doink that time.
As we talked about it, Gavit's struggled this season so far, particularly at the plate, but also on a couple of other stats, namely runs scored against.
Mm-hmm.
So they really have to get their act together.
2-2 pitch. Called strike three on the outside corner.
Nice
two
pitch,
up,
too.
two down in the inning.
Threw him a slider. They caught that
and
outside
a
corner.
Nasty slider. 2 down, and here is Jorge Perez, the first baseman. The fabulous freshman will head for the left-handed batter's box. He's a North. Gavit is wearing the dark gray uniforms, purple numbers trimmed in gold. Victory Christian in the gold uniforms, purple sleeves, white pants. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss on a slider inside, and the count's 0-1.
Perez, a left-handed hitter, is also a pitcher, first baseman, and he is a freshman.
These are kind of, if you look at Gavit's uniform, they're kind of like Northwestern kind of uniforms if you take the gold out of the equation. 0-1, fastball high, 1 ball, 1 strike.
They're not the most difficult uniforms to read, but they're not
we've
high
had
on our
some.
list of. Yeah, we've had a few.
We've had a few.
And then you get that 3 o'clock afternoon game at Lane Stadium where your eyes are in the sun. It's
don't remind me. Next one, high, 2 balls and a strike to Jorge Perez. Anthony Gibson would be next.
I do it Thursday through Saturday during the football season.
Yeah, you already know you already know the torture. The pitch, swinging a foul tip, and that'll even the count 2-2.
Generally, most football stadiums, the press facilities, the announcing booths, and what have you face east, so that you're not
Lane
in the sun.
Stadium.
Nope, it faces west, and that 4:30 afternoon game or 3:30 afternoon game is
especially when it kicks off.
Yeah.
Especially when the kickoff is about to happen, and you got to read who the heck's doing what.
And if it's a hot
the pitch on
day,
the way, fastball inside that'll run the count full 3-2.
And plus, if it's a hot, muggy day and you got that sun beating down on you with a hot, humid day.
October 5th, 2007, Whitney Young, Lane Tech for the Redbird title. I was there for that one and went through all of those circumstances. The payoff. Swung on, grounded toward first, and the pitcher covers, and this inning has come to an end. No runs, no hits, an error, and nobody left. We head to the bottom of the first. It's the Gladiators nothing, and the Lions coming to bat. You're listening to the 12th annual Real Cats High School Baseball Challenge, driven by U.S. Tire and Auto in Gary, and you're hearing it live on the Arena Sports Network.
Looking for a reason to visit U.S. Tire and Auto in Gary, Indiana? Our customers gave us 5 of them. The high standards of quality service and parts, lifetime warranties, a strong business built on honesty and integrity. They've been servicing the Gary community since 1991 and the largest auto and light truck tire dealer in the city of Gary, Indiana. We have a variety of products and services that are instrumental to the health of your car, including our tire fitment guide to help you find the correct size tires for your automobile. Our friendly service staff will quickly outfit your vehicle with a high-quality tire that is right for you. Check out our tire and wheel catalog to give your vehicle the perfect fit. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 219-884-4600 or visit us online at www.ustire-auto.com.
Time to go back to work here from Gary, Indiana. Mark and Brian here with you. It's the 12th annual Real Cats High School Baseball Challenge. Now, it's time for our starting lineups here in the bottom of the first, presented by Sowers Ford of Michigan City. Joey Verche leads off. He'll catch. Evan Wilson bats second. He's at second base. Calvin Riesinger bats third. He'll pitch. Mac Price bats fourth, and he's in center field. Sam Linden bats fifth. He's the shortstop. Ethan Hancock bats sixth in right field. Boston Jarvis bats seventh and left. Ben Fiore bats eighth at third. And Nathan Nichols bats ninth, and he is the DH. Through the lineup again, Verche, Wilson, Riesinger, Price, Linden, Hancock, Jarvis, Fiore, and the DH, Nichols. That's the starting line presented by Sowers Ford of Michigan City. Call 219-879-5381 or visit SowersAuto.com. The American Family Insurance reads like this.
It looks like this for the Gavit Gladiators, left to right in the outfield. Mike Lear will be in left. The center fielder is John Wilson. Over in right field will be Randy Ferguson. And the infield third to first, Tim Gomez at third. Over at short is Anthony Gibson. The second baseman, Brandon Thongzawath. And at first base is George Perez.
Here's the first pitch to Verche. It's a ball, 1 ball, no strikes, and off we go in the bottom of the first.
And your battery of starting pitcher, right-hander Brandon Bogdan, and his catcher is Josh Lumberis, and Brandon Bogdan is a big kid.
Mm-hmm. He rocks into the chest high wind and delivers the 1-0. It's a curveball strike, and the count's even 1-1.
Brandon Bogdan is a senior. He's also a third baseman. And he looks
like he played a little fullback.
I was going to say a little fullback. He's got to be at least 6'6" maybe. He kind of looks like a Rick Russell type, the way he does his windup.
You remember Senor Russell?
Am I right? Tell me. That's
the pitch on the way. Fastball high, 2-0, and he's got the same kind of motion.
That's what I'm saying. He's got
the same kind of a short leg kick motion, but he brings all the giddy up when he comes forward with it.
And he was a terrific pitcher, Rick Rushell.
Oh, he was fun to watch.
Played on some not-so-good Cub teams.
He was fun to watch.
Along with his
brother. Wind-up in the pitch. Fastball low, 3-1.
Along with his not-so-little brother, Paul Rushell.
Mm-hmm.
They pitched a game together. I think they pitched a doubleheader where both of them started, or one finished, something
they
like
did.
that.
From the chest high wind, here's the 3-1 pitch from Bogdan. Swinging a foul to the backstop, and counts full, 3-2.
And Rick wasn't the kind of guy that would have been a matinee idol by any stretch of the imagination. He was a farm boy, a big farm boy like his brother Paul. But
and you know what?
He was a fine pitcher.
He was a crafty pitcher.
Exactly.
You didn't know what he was going to throw at what time.
And he was surprisingly quick. As they used to pitch run him periodically, and he was known to steal a couple bases.
The payoff pitch from Bogdan on the way. Swinging a foul to the backstop. We'll do it again.
Which tells you that base stealing isn't entirely speed. It's instinct.
It's instinct.
And he had great instinct with pretty good base running ability. But the instinct made up for whatever lack of speed he had as a pinch runner.
And then there's people like Ricky Henderson and Vince Coleman.
Wow.
And Lou Brock.
Well, they were artists.
The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Verche goes down swinging. 1 up, 1 down in the first. So I want to see base stealing threats like that again. Evan Wilson now stands in, second baseman. And Mr. Wilson, that's obvious, is a junior. Shortstop as well as a pitcher. Started in this game 2 years ago against Gary Westside. The pitch, fastball inside, ball 1.
The Lions don't have a lot of height on their team. Not that is a big deal in baseball, but still, you like to have it, especially on some of those line drives that you might be able to leap up and catch that otherwise will make their way to the outfield.
The 1-0 pitch, outside, 2 balls, no strikes. You know who didn't have a lot of height on their team but wound up getting to the World Series recently? Yeah. Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Well coached.
Mm-hmm. Joe Madden.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't have any height, but they had a lot of speed. The 2-0 to Wilson. Swung on and driven to left center field. This is trouble. This is going to be over the head of the center fielder, and it's going to roll for a bit. Wilson will make the turn and head for second and slide in with a 1-out double.
First hit of the ballgame for either team, and that was a solid double into the gap in left center field.
Here's Calvin Reisinger to the plate.
I like his wine, by the way. Well, that's Riesling.
Yes. Reisinger, a senior, 5'8". Also a shortstop and a center fielder, but he's on the bump today. The pitch swung on and slapped foul to the backstop, and the count's 0-1. He's got that. Bogdan has got that same little quick delivery like Rushell.
Yeah. I noticed that from when he threw his first pitch in warm-ups, and then looking at the body type as well.
Bogdan sets high at the chest, and the 0-1, swing and a miss by Reisinger, and the count's 0-2.
And, he's got this wrist action that can throw off a batter just by the way he tosses the ball on his breaking pitch.
Oh, yeah. Seen many a pitcher like that. 0-2 pitch, low and outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. One game in the books in the NBA playoffs. It is Brooklyn defeating Toronto north of the border, 94-87. The Nets lead that series 1-0. And the Warriors have opened up a 93-84 lead on the Clips in the Clip joint. Here's a swing and a drive towards center. Center fielder coming. He's got it. Leaping catch. 2 down in the inning.
And good news from down in St. Louis. The Blackhawks have taken a 3-2 lead.
Yes!
After trailing 2-0 in the second period.
Now we just have to close them out. Yes. St. Louis snuck up and got us last time.
That's with about 4 minutes to go in the third period.
Here is Mac Price, the center fielder. And I have an obvious joke with that, considering people know what my favorite game show is, so I'm going to leave that alone.
Do they call him Mac the Knife?
Mm-hmm. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball outside, ball 1.
He's one of their bigger players. He's 6'1", a senior. Looks like he's played a little bit of football as well.
He's a receiver type. He's a receiver type.
Yeah, he's big, but very
Bogdan out of the set.
Not stocky or anything.
The pitch is outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
My son, by the way, he's growing by leaps and bounds, but he is so rail thin. I worry about him.
Well, he's got more hair than both of us.
I mean, he is. Yeah. Well, I've always had it. I've had it.
The 2-0 is low. 3-0. How is young Lewis?
Lewis is doing well. Louis and I, we both had that thing of lots of hair when we were born, and it all stayed.
Mark showed me some beautiful pictures of his baby pictures of Lewis, and I'll tell you what, it just reminds me of all the pics I took of Donna when she was born. Strike right down the middle with a fastball, 3 balls and a strike to Mac Price. Sam Linden would be next. And Donna now has a full head of hair. She's a year old.
A little darling.
Oh, yeah. Here's a 3-1 to Price, swinging a foul to the backstop, and the count's full 3-2. And Liz made the joke, she got all her hair from me. I said, I already know that because I'm bald.
Yes, that's obvious.
I figured that out the day she was born. The payoff pitch to Price. Low, ball 4. Price draws a walk. So 2 on and 2 out. And Sam Linden will now step to the plate.
Linden, I believe, is a freshman.
You remember the day that Lewis was born.
The reason I say I believe he's a freshman is because they listed him as 8th grade. I don't think for high school
I don't think that will be acceptable.
Maybe. Little do we know, maybe with these
I have a question for you, and I know we talked about this before. I'll ask you after this pitch. Wilson at second and Price at first. The pitch outside, ball 1. My question to you is this. When Lewis was born, he was just starting to grow. How many pictures did you take of him?
Oh, God. Almost photographed children. Photographed and videotaped children.
The pitch on the way, swing and a miss on a breaking ball outside. I'll even the count 1-1. And the reason I ask this is because as I just became a parent last year, I'm doing the same thing. I'm terrible. Liz and I are terrible taking pictures of Donna. The 1-1, swing and a miss on a breaking ball inside, and the count is now 1-2.
Linden's having a little bit of a problem. The breaking ball is forcing him to kind of wave at it. Mm-hmm. He's not really stepping into the pitch.
He's off balance. Yeah, he's way off balance. Out of the stretch with a look to second in the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and the inning is over. So Bogdan, after allowing a hit and a walk, gets out of it and strands 2 runners. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 men left. We go to the top of the second. No score. You're listening to the 12th Annual Railcats High School Baseball Challenge, driven by U.S. Tire and Auto of Gary, Indiana. And you're hearing it live on the Arena Sports Network.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. There's just one place where a team is more than a group of individual agendas. It's a catalyst for demonstrating the potential of the collaborative spirit. There's just one place where players, coaches, and fans experience the exhilaration that happens when an entire community rallies behind the school team. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. In addition, high school sports help young people in Indiana develop the discipline and confidence they need to be leaders in life, even as they unite communities like nothing else. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Oh, Mark wants to say something so bad.
No, I was about to say
we go to
go ahead. I'll tell you in a minute.
We go to the top of the second. Anthony Gibson will step to the plate, and the first pitch is outside for ball 1. Calvin Reisinger enters his second inning of work. No score. Here from the Steel Yard in Gary. A beautiful, beautiful ballpark. If y'all have a chance, please come out and support the Railcats and these kids. Fastball inside, 2 balls, no strikes.
And, of course, the other team that the Salvies own, and that's the
Schaumburg
team,
Boomers.
Both teams of which won their
league championships. The 2-0, fastball high, 3-0.
Two fine, beautiful ballparks.
Second in which we may have a chance to work together. 3-0 pitch, high ball 4. So Anthony Gibson walks on 4 pitches. And Mike Anguiano will now step to the plate. With Tim Gomez on deck. No score, top of the second. Infield up all the way around. Outfield shallow. The pitch swung on, driven toward right. Right fielder starts in, breaks back, makes the catch. 1 down in the second.
A little bit of an adventure for the right fielder, Randy Ferguson, or rather the right fielder, Ethan Hancock, but made the catch. You don't get any points extra for style points.
No.
Making it look easy or making it look hard.
Okay, then how do we judge Ken Griffey Jr.?
Well, lots of style points.
Oh, boy. Tim Gomez, the third baseman, now stands in. See, that's just an unfair comparison that you don't get style points. Here's a fastball striking the outside corner. The count's 0-1 to Tim Gomez. And you talk about a big boy.
Yeah, he is.
He's a big boy right here at the plate. Infield still up all the way around.
He looks more like lineman.
Swung on and popped up. Second baseman rolling out. This is trouble, but he'll get there and he'll make the catch. Out behind second base. 2 down in the second.
It held up long enough and allowed the second baseman to back up into the outfield grass, but not too far out to make that kind of catch. But it's in that kind of twilight zone area where a lot of baseballs have been lost.
Brandon Bogdan now stands in, the starting pitcher and the 7th place hitter in the order. Got an NBA score update for you in just a moment. Swing and a miss by Bogdan on a fastball.
And what we feared, the Blues came back and tied that game to send it to overtime.
Again?
Again.
Oh, boy.
That's going to be frustrating.
It's frustrating for all of us. The 0-1 to Bogdan. Fastball strike right down the middle. The count's 0-2. Why did you have to tell me that?
Yeah.
St. Louis is good.
Yeah, they are.
The Blues are good. I'll say it. The 0-2. Fastball high and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Golden State is on the verge of another first-round upset as they lead the Clippers as a fastball inside missed. That'll even the count at 2-2. They lead the Clippers 98-92. And there's a little over 5 minutes remaining in that contest in the clip joint. Call at the Staples Center. Next one. Inside. Runner goes. Throw to second. He's gone.
You got him again.
Long gone. 2 runners thrown out by Joey Verche.
This one 2-6 on the putout.
2. That will take care of that. We head to the bottom of the second. The Lions and the Gladiators, they're scoreless. You're listening to the 12th annual Real Cats High School Baseball Challenge, driven by U.S. Tyrant Auto of Gary, Indiana, on ASN.
Get your best price on Ford trucks, Focus, F-150, Explorer, Escape, and Lincoln MKS, MKT, MKX, MKZ, as well as Fiesta, Fusion, Taurus, Mustang, Navigator, and all other new Ford Lincoln vehicles at the all-new Sowers Ford in Lincoln, Northwest Indiana's newest Ford Lincoln dealer. We offer new and used Ford Lincoln vehicles, parts, service, and used cars. If you are in Northwest Indiana or near Michigan City, LaPorte, Hobart, Burns Harbor, Valparaiso, Chesterton, South Bend, or Portage, there is no comparison to the other dealers around town. We are about to earn your business with top quality service and the most competitive pricing in Indiana. Stop by today at 3930 Franklin Street in Michigan City or give us a call at 219-879-5381. That's 219-879-5381. Or visit us online at www.sowersauto.com. Sowers Ford Lincoln, Northwest Indiana's newest Ford Lincoln dealer.
I blew up my partner's ears. I'm sorry.
I love him too.
I'm sorry. We go to the bottom of the second with no score. Here from the Steel Yard in Gary, Indiana. I'm sorry.
Vladimir Tarasenko of the Blues is the one who tied it up with just 7 seconds to go in regulation. Boy, that really hurts. And the guy who's been in on all three of the Blues goals is Kevin Shattenkirk. He's got a goal and 2 assists.
Darn you, Shattenkirk.
So here we go.
Ethan Hancock will lead off the bottom of the second. 6, 7, and 8. Hancock, Jarvis, and Fiore. To face Bogdan. Here's the pitch to Hancock. Outside, ball 1.
One of the Hancock brothers, his brother Grant, is a freshman, while Ethan is a junior. Both of which are primarily outfielders.
1 ball, no strikes. Here in the bottom of the second inning with no scores. Bogdan winds, kicks, and fires. Swung on and tapped foul. Up the third base line. And that'll even the count at 1-1.
I know some Blackhawk fans who've got to be sick.
After one of them's right here.
Going through that situation, boy.
Again.
And it's got to be deflating going into the locker room to go into overtime, losing.
Well, this is going to test. This is going to test them.
Yes, absolutely.
This is really going to test them after playing 3 overtimes on Thursday night. 1-1 pitch. Fastball low and inside. 2 balls and a strike.
Well, Gavit's had their opportunities, but their base running has failed them, namely because of the outstanding throws from Joey Vershay behind home plate.
2-1 pitch, swung on and fouled back, and it's 2-2.
And in both cases, he got him dead by a mile, threw him out. No room for argument.
There's one thing I know we both can say that we were a part of here in this park. Swing and a miss. Hancock is gone. Strikeout number 2 for Bogdan. 3 for Bogdan. I was right on my first guess. One down.
All swinging strikes, by the way.
All 1 down in the second. Boston Jarvis.
I love that name.
I love that name, too. I love that name.
He's a sophomore.
The pitch to Boston is a strike on the inside corner, and the count's 0-1.
Infielder, outfielder.
You remember a Bulls killer by the name of Del Curry?
Of course.
They used to terrorize us back in the day. 0-1, right down the middle for a strike, and it's 0-2.
With Charlotte, with the Hornets.
Well, he's got a bouncing baby boy named Stephen Curry.
Yes. What did Stephen just do?
I'll tell you what the Clips did. They just wiped out a 10-point deficit, and they've tied it. Swing and a miss! Bogdan.
3 strikeouts in a row.
All swinging. 4 in the game. I'll tell you what the Clips did. They just tied the game 102 apiece. There's 2:27 left in that game. Well, Steph has 14 points, 7 assists. Klay Thompson's been I think Klay is the leading scorer. First pitch missed to that's Fiore for ball 1. Meanwhile, Chris Paul is 28 to lead all scorers as they come down to the 2-minute mark in the Staples Center. Next one, low and outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. The reason I'm paying close attention to this series, my second favorite team is the Warriors since 2007. Next one, swing and a miss on a fastball of about 2 feet outside. And it's 1-2, and Bogdan has settled down.
He certainly hasn't. He's got some giddy up on these pitches.
Inside, missed with that one, and that will even the count at 2-2.
That one was a breaking ball.
You remember Michael Thompson? Used to play with the Lakers?
Yeah.
He's got a bouncing baby boy, too, on the Warriors. Fastball inside. And Mr. Fiore draws a 2-out walk. Here is Nathan Nichols, the designated hitter, batting for first baseman Gabe Frayne. Fiore away at first. 2 down in the inning. And the pitch to Nichols is a fastball on the outside corner for a strike, and it's 0-1. Next one, fastball outside, And that'll even the count 1-1. One ball, one strike. From the set, the pitch. Fastball striking the outside corner, 1-2.
Each team's had scoring opportunities with base runners in the first 2 innings.
1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and driven towards center. Center fielder coming on. He's got it. Inning over. Well. This has turned out to be a little different than Mark and I had talked about off the air. And this could get interesting really quick. Mark will have the middle innings. We're done with 2. Lions nothing, Gladiators nothing. You're listening to the 2014 Railcats High School Baseball Talents driven by U.S. Tyrant Auto. You're hearing it live on the Arena Sports Network.
Need service? Look no further than Sowers Ford, a Ford dealer like no other. Our state-of-the-art service department is fully staffed with certified technicians who can handle anything from routine maintenance to the most difficult diesel repair. Brakes, tires, and batteries. Sowers Ford service has it all. Sowers Ford, serving Michigan City and surrounding communities. Sowers Ford Lincoln, 3930 Franklin, Michigan City, 219-879-5381, or visit us at SowersFord.com.
At Strachan Van Til, everything we do is designed around you. From the uncompromising freshness down every aisle to the unbeatable quality you'll always find. It's the very best selection from choice meats to bakery. And getting honest value every single day, all with the friendly personal service and the savings that you deserve. That's built around you. That's Strachan Van Til. Visit svtgroceries.com today.
All right, folks. Hi, the women and children. We go to the top of the 3rd here from the Steel Yard. Here's my partner, Mark Farina.
We're scoreless through the first 2 innings. The Gavit Gladiators from Hammond, Indiana.
I knew you'd slip.
Trinity Christian Lions from Valparaiso.
You slipped again. Trinity Christian.
Trinity Christian.
No,
it is
Victory Christian.
Victory Christian. I wrote Trinity Christian. Okay, whatever.
Did you write Trinity Christian on your scorecard?
I did, yes. That's what I did. We've done Trinity Christian.
I've done it too.
It'll be the bottom of the order for the Lions.
Oh, Lord.
For the Gladiators, Brandon Brogdon, and then Brandon Thongsworth. Say that 10 times. And then John Wilson, 7, 8, 9 hitters.
I'm not even going to.
A pair of Brandons to lead it off. The pitcher, Brogdon.
Doink!
Back to the press box area with our little veranda in front of us. The veranda that doesn't quite make any sense. Okay.
Yeah.
So that your microphones and things don't hit the spectators. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. 3 pitches. So Brogdon goes down swinging. Second
morning.
strikeout of the game for starting pitcher Calvin Riesinger. And it'll bring up Brandon Thongsworth. He's the second baseman. Thongsworth is a junior infielder. Right-handed hitter facing the right-handed throwing Riesinger. The pitch is outside, a fastball. 2 balls, no strikes the count. John Wilson, the center fielder, and the number 9 hitter is on deck. The Gladiators looking for their first hit of the ballgame. They've had 2 base runners thanks to a first inning error and a walk in the second inning. Both runners were then easily gunned down trying to steal second. This pitch is hit up in the air, foul territory. It's going to go out of play.
Doink.
Off the top edge of the first base dugout, where his teammates were watching carefully to see if they could get a souvenir. Beautiful day. Can't get much nicer than this for spring.
Except when summer shows up.
That's right. But we love it. After that harsh winter.
After what we dealt with for the winter, we'll take it.
2-strike count to Thongsworth. And here it comes. Swung on. Ground ball, a couple hops to the second baseman. This time he gets it cleanly. Throws in time.
Nice play.
To retire the second batter of the inning. That was a nice play. That was in the hole between second base and the second baseman position. 2 up, 2 down. I'll bring up the number 9 hitter and center fielder John Wilson. Wilson's a sophomore. He's also one of their pitchers. And here's the pitch. And this one, Riesinger throws all the way back to the screen for ball 1.
Luckily, the no runners on.
Riesinger, 5'8", 152-pound senior, also plays shortstop and center field for the Victory Christian Lions. 2 balls, no strikes, the count. As that pitch was a little bit high and outside. And the 2-0 line shot, it is foul. Hit it like a bullet. Just fouled on the left field line.
Oh, man, he roped that.
He got all of it, but was way ahead of it, unfortunately. So now the count runs to 2 balls and a strike. Top of the order, and Josh Lumberis, the catcher, would be due up next. 2 balls, 1 strike. Riesinger from the side wind up. Pitch fouled back again, this time up onto the roof. And he's now even the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes on John Wilson.
Something happened in Detroit today. Albert Pujols hit number 498 this afternoon.
Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer. Mm-hmm. Pitch is outside for ball 3, so full count to Wilson. Riesinger's already walked 1 batter. That was Anthony Gibson to lead off the second. And here's his 3-2 offering. Pitch is swung on.
Trouble.
Hit deep. Center fielder ranges back to make the catch to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down in the top of the third for Gavit. No runs, hits, errors, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the third inning. We still remain scoreless. The Gavit Gladiators and the Victory Christian Lions. And you're listening to the 12th annual Railcats High School Baseball Challenge, driven by U.S. Tire and Auto in Gary, Indiana. And you're listening to it on ASN.
Have you heard the good news about a crazy dream based on a belief that positive breeds positive and that people want to read, hear, and watch stuff about good people? Have you heard the good news about a place you can go to enjoy positive, community-oriented information about the town, city, or region you live in and the people involved? Have you heard the good news about a place where you can celebrate what is right in the world, share it with your friends, family, and community, and neighbors at school, work, or place of worship, and have fun doing it? Well, there is such a place. That place is LaPorteCountyLife.com. LaPorteCountyLife.com is all about the positive, not the negative, bringing out the best and not the worst, and all about promoting positivity in your community. LaPorteCountyLife.com. Have you heard the good news?
Portions of today's broadcast brought to you by LaPorteCountyLife.com. Share the good news with fans and friends. LaPorte County Life. Have you heard the good news?
We go to the bottom of the third inning in a scoreless pitcher's duel between the Gavit Gladiators and the Victory Christian Lions. And it'll be the top of the order for the Lions. Catcher Joey Verche, then second baseman Evan Wilson, and then the pitcher Calvin Riesinger due up. 1, 2, and 3 hitters. Verche is 0 for 1 in the game. He struck out swinging in the first. Only 1 hit between the two teams, and that is in the form of a 1-out double by the on-deck hitter Evan Wilson. So we most definitely have a pitcher's duel. Verche is a sophomore. Swung on, fouled back into
Doink!
Last row of the grandstand here right before the concourse.
I think this is the only park we've been in that there are no grass berms. They're all filled by seats.
You're right. Most everywhere else we've done, it's got a grass berm somewhere out there.
Oh, they had a picnic area out down the left field line.
Yeah. And you got the party tub out in center.
I will be in that party tub.
Strike 1 pitch is fouled off again, this time
off the roof.
Up on the roof. Up on the roof.
I shouldn't have said that.
That's right. So Verche in the hole, 0-2. Brandon Brogdon on the mound, the right-hander, steps up and kicks, and his delivery is a ground ball, a couple hops, a rug burner to the second baseman who tosses on to first in time for out number 1. And I'll bring up Evan Wilson. As we pointed out, he doubled with 1 out in the first inning, but was left stranded. The Lions left 2 men stranded because Mac Price, the number 4 hitter, wound up walking as well. Let's see if Wilson can drill one to left center field like he did the last time. This one is down low for ball 1. Pitcher Calvin Riesinger is on deck.
Oh, David Backus out of game 2. Left against the Blues captain. David Backus out with an injury.
You don't like to see that with anybody.
No, you don't.
No matter how much you're rooting for the Blackhawks, you don't want to see guys go out. You want to beat them with both full.
Right, both full rosters.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. Outside. It's going to call it a strike on the outside corner.
Right on the corner. Right on the corner.
2 balls and 1 strike. The count to Wilson, the second baseman for the Lions. That is the Victory Christian Lions. Not to be mistaken for the Trinity Christian Lions of the CCAC. Pitch is fouled off. Even
Should I tell him? Should I tell him?
Well,
Trinity
Day.
Christian Trolls.
That's right. That's right.
The first games we ever worked together.
The Sunburn games.
Yes.
2-2 offering is
hit him
tight. Did he get a piece of it?
No, it didn't.
But it did go all the way back to the back step, so the count runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, with 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd. In a scoreless battle between the Gladiators of Hammond's Gavit High School and the Victory Christian Lions of Valparaiso. Full count offering as Brogdon kicks and delivers. Swung on, fouled off again, got a piece of it towards the dugout on the third base side. No, you can't keep the souvenirs in a high school baseball game. You got to throw them back.
Rats.
Just like fish. But they don't have the stink to them. Full count offering once again by Brogdon. And this is outside and low for ball 4. So Wilson is out for the second time in this ball game. Having doubled and now walked with 1 out here in the second.
Yes, folks, we even talk fish.
Pitcher Calvin Riesinger, the number 3 hitter, steps up. He's 0 for 1. Flied out to the center fielder in the first inning. Flying out to center fielder John Wilson. There goes Evan Wilson on the second base. He'll have it easily stolen as the throw was off to the third base side. First stolen base of the game for either team. And now they've got a runner once again in scoring position. It's the second time in 3 innings they've had a runner in scoring position. Have the
and the same runner.
Same runner. And the pitch swung on, foul back up on the roof.
Don't you dare.
Behind the first base dugout. No, I only do it one time. And there are no boardwalks here, so I can't do under the boardwalk.
No.
Here's the pitch to Riesinger. Swung on, got a piece of it. That'll be strike 2. We don't have a scoreboard. They're doing renovations, which are especially to the video part of the scoreboard here in preparation for the season.
Oh, really?
No balls, 2 strikes, the count to Riesinger. That's why there's nothing up on the board.
What kind of renovations are they doing to the board?
Some newfangled, updated
modern technology?
Modern technology, video graphics, and all sorts of things. 1 ball, 2 strikes now, the count to Riesinger as he faces his counterpart Brogdon, and the pitch is in the dirt. Evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
In the dirt.
Mac Price, the center fielder, would be the next hitter. He's on deck. Runner at second, 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 3rd. Pitch, this time in the dirt. So the count runs now to full 3 balls, 2 strikes. Second batter in a row. He's had full count go. He walked Evan Wilson, who's at second base right now, and here's the 3-2 offering. Swung on, fly ball, should be playable. Center fielder calling off the right fielder. No, the right fielder calls him off, makes the catch. Tagging up on the play is Evan Wilson. He'll slide into third safely.
Nice.
So for the second time, the pitcher, Riesinger, flies out to the center fielder. But this time now, there's a runner at third base in the form of Evan Wilson with 2 out. And I'll bring up Mac Price. Price walked in the first but was left stranded.
Again? Oh, okay.
We've had 3 walks so far given up by Brogdon. Let's see if the walk comes back to haunt him in this inning. Upstairs, ball 1 on a fastball. Price, we pointed out, is a 6'1" senior. He's a big kid. Takes this one on an outside corner for strike 1. Even Sakana 1-1. Another slider. We've seen quite a few sliders from Brogdon so far. That's a pitch that you want to teach your young pitchers.
Yeah.
Swung on and missed. That was a breaking ball that time. And he had him
filthy.
Swinging, flailing at that pitch.
Back foot was out of the box.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Price. Number 4 hitter, you'd expect some production out of him. Takes it upstairs. He was thinking about it.
He was.
But he wisely laid off the pitch, one of those pitches in the eyes up high.
Bad news. St. Louis just won.
Oh, God.
Same score, 4-3.
Yep. Same situation, basically.
Overtime.
Pitches in the dirt. Runs the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
That's all right. We got them for 2 in our house.
Well, yeah.
But we just got to steal one down in St. Louis.
Can't keep giving teams. This one's
opportunity.
Inside for ball 4. So second time in a row that Mac Price has coaxed a walk. And now you've got runners at first and third with 2 out. And the infield will come in with the catcher and have a little convention over at the pitcher's mound. Talk it over. As Sam Linden is due up next, the number 5 hitter. And the shortstop is 0 for 1. He struck out swinging with 2 men on base in that first inning, so he's 0 for 1. Now the field umpire breaks up the party. Linden, one of 4 strikeout victims by Brogdon. Actually struck out 3 in a row, starting with Linden to end the first inning. There goes the runner. And it's a called strike.
He missed the bunt.
He showed for the bunt. He missed it, but fortunately Price was able to go into second base with a stolen base. That's the second stolen base of the inning for Victory Christian. And now they've got runners in scoring position at second and third and 2 out. And once again he shows a bunt on the outside corner, but pulls it back, evens the count at 1-1. Ethan Hancock, the right fielder, would be due up next. Golden scoring opportunity for the Gladiators, or rather for the Lions.
Got to take advantage of this opportunity.
Shows bunt. He lays down a bunt for a hit. Throw on to first base. Not in time.
Infield hit.
Bobbled it. And they're going to score that an infield hit.
Infield hit.
So an RBI infield bunt for a hit all the way. Scores Evan Wilson from third. On the play, Mac Price moves over to third. And it's a 1-0 lead for the Victory Christian Lions. Would have been a tough play even if the throw had been perfect.
You couldn't have
the ball
placed
was in the dirt.
You couldn't have placed it any better than that.
And here comes Hancock.
Runner goes again.
Swung on a miss, and this time going again. More like defensive indifference on that one, as Linden easily took second. So now, once again, runners at second and third with 2 out and a run in. And the pitch swung on, popped up on the infield. Shortstop calls for it, makes the catch to retire the side. But in the inning for the Lions, 1 run. There was 1 hit, an infield hit on a bunt. There were no errors, a couple of walks, and a couple of stolen bases, and 2 men left. We're through 3 complete now here at the Steel Yard in Gary with our score. The Victory Christian Lions 1, the Gavit Gladiators 0. And we'll be back. You're listening to the 12th annual Railcats High School Baseball Challenge, driven by U.S. Tire and Auto in Gary, Indiana, and it's right here on ASN.
Looking for a reason to visit U.S. Tire and Auto in Gary, Indiana? Our customers gave us 5 of them. The high standards of quality service and parts, lifetime warranties, a strong business built on honesty and integrity. They've been servicing the Gary community since 1991 and the largest auto and light truck tire dealer in the city of Gary, Indiana. We have a variety of products and services that are instrumental to the health of your car, including our tire fitment guide to help you find the correct size tires for your automobile. Our friendly service staff will quickly outfit your vehicle with a high-quality tire that is right for you. Check out our tire and wheel catalog to give your vehicle the perfect fit. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 219-884-4600 or visit us online at www.ustire-auto.com.
We go to the top of the 4th inning with the Victory Christian Lions leading the Gavit Gladiators 1-0 in a ball game that's only seen 1 hit between the 2 teams, and that hit didn't even lead to the run. Actually, 2 hits now. Take that back. 2 hits now for the Lions. Top of the order for the Gladiators, and Josh Lamberis will lead it off. He's the catcher. Got on the first pitch of the ball game on an error on the second baseman, but then was summarily thrown out trying to steal second base. So he's officially 0 for 1, and that's a called strike. Lamberis, Ferguson, and Perez due up. Top 3 hitters in the Gladiators lineup. And the pitch by Riesinger is a ball. Left-handed hitting Lamberis, who's the catcher. Right-handed throwing. And the offering is outside. 2 balls and a strike. Riesinger from that chest-high wide. He hit him. Hit him on an inside fastball. So Lamberis has gotten on base thanks to a couple of gifts in this game.
That hurts.
It did hurt. So he is on to lead off the 4th. And it's time now for our ASN 4th Inning Trivia Challenge presented by Gigahertz, the official computer solutions company of ASN. And here's Brian.
Against which team did Bobby Thigpen record his then Major League Baseball record 57th save in 1990?
There's a bunt attempt. It's going to be in fair territory.
Trouble.
Pitcher picks it up, throws the first, and he's
safe! Off the bag!
He pulled the runner and pulled the first baseman off the bag. He tried to swipe tag the runner, Ferguson, but failed. And that is going to be, I believe that's going to be ruled an error. On the play, Lamberis goes to second base. And now we're going to have a visit from the head coach of the Gladiators, or rather of Trinity Christian. That's Ryan Bratcher. He's going to talk it over with the field umpire who made the call.
And the field umpire waited to make the call.
Yeah, he waited to see what happened.
He waited to make the call just to be absolutely certain, and you want to see something like that.
So it was a tough chance for the first baseman, but he should have thrown him out.
Yeah.
If not pulling the runner off, so we're going to call it an E1 on the throw. On the play, Lamberis makes it over to second base. Now nobody out. Golden scoring opportunity for
chance to tie.
For the Gladiators with George Perez, the first baseman, up. Wow. The Warriors win it.
Upset in L.A. Warriors 109 and the Clips 105.
And the pitch is upstairs.
For the second straight year, the Warriors steal Game 1 of a first-round series on the road.
2 balls, no strikes to Perez. Perez grounded out. First baseman tossing to the pitcher for the last out of the first inning. This pitch is in tight. Now they're still looking for their first hit of the ball game. Are the Gladiators? They've had a total now of 4 base runners, thanks to an 2 errors, a walk, and a hit batter. But still looking for their first clean single. Pitches outside, ball 4.
Oh boy!
So now the bases are loaded with nobody out, and the number 4 hitter, shortstop Anthony Gibson, stepping up. This is big trouble for Victory Christian.
A base hit could be 2 runs.
And something in the gap could clear them all.
Mm-hmm. And send the batter all the way around, too, because look how shallow they're playing.
Lamberis is at third. Swung on and missed on a fastball.
He was trying to put that on the highway.
Lamberis is at third. Ferguson at second. And Perez at first for the Gladiators with nobody out here in the top of the 4th.
Man, is this trouble.
This pitch gets away for a moment. High breaking ball. Evens the count at 1-1.
Speaking of playoffs, the Bulls open their playoff run tomorrow
at the UC
against Washington.
Pitch foul back. Runs the count to 1-2 now on Gibson, who I said walked in the first. He was then thrown out 2-6, trying to steal. Won't be seeing any steal attempts right now with the bases loaded and nobody out. And healthy lead from second base. This pitch is flying.
That's trouble. Trouble.
Drops in for a base hit. The base runner from second was a little slow making his way to third, but the bases remain loaded, and it's now a tie ball game, 1 each.
And that's the first hit of the game for the Gladiators.
An RBI single by Anthony Gibson. Coming in to score was the catcher Josh Lamberis. And we're tied at 1. And still bases loaded with nobody out.
See, if you're Gavit, you got to take advantage of this. You got to keep the train moving.
Mike Anguiano, the designated hitter, steps up. He swings and fouls it off up on the roof. Anguiano is 0 for 1, flied out to the right fielder in the second.
Want to welcome our new partner of ASN, our new media partner, LaPorteCountyLife.com. Have you heard the good news?
Here's the pitch. Swung on. Foul territory this time. It's going to go out of play into about the second row behind the dugout.
You know,
he's in the hole 0-2.
Back in grammar school, when we would play kickball and someone would ricochet one off the wall, but if someone would catch it, you're out.
Fast pitching was my game back in grammar school, early high school. Fast pitching at Sayre School. 0-2 delivery coming to Mike Anguiano, the designated hitter.
Oh!
Call! Third strike. Home plate umpire hesitated for a moment, but he was leaning that way to begin with.
He did.
And the first out of the inning is a strikeout. That is strikeout number 3 for starting pitcher Calvin Riesinger.
Now, what if Big Boy could clear the bases?
Here's Tim Gomez. He popped out to the second baseman to end the second inning, but he's got the bags juiced with now 1 out and a run in. Pitch swung on, fouled back, up onto the roof. And with the bases loaded, the infield playing in. Shortstop's the only one playing normal depth back at short. Third baseman and first baseman creeping in a little bit on the infield grass. And here's the one strike offering. Just outside, evens the count at 1-1.
Good take by Gomez.
He'll be followed by the pitcher, Brandon Brogdon, who certainly would like to help his own cause.
Oh, he would love a chance at this.
Ball game tied here in the 4th. Ground ball. Shortstop up with it. Toss to second for 1. Toss to first. Double play.
Out.
Well, the damage could have been a whole lot worse. But the double play, the pitcher's best friend, does the job. In the inning, there was 1 run on 1 hit, a hit batter, an error, and a walk, and 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Our score now, the Gavit Gladiators won, the Victory Christian Lions won. And you're listening to the 12th Annual Railcats High School Baseball Challenge, driven by U.S. Tire and Auto in Gary, and you're listening to it on the Arena Sports Network.
Some statistics are surprising, some are unbelievable, and some are simply unacceptable. Right now, nearly 30% of U.S. students aren't finishing high school. Nearly 30%. And that's the average. In many places, it's even higher than that. And fixing it is a responsibility that we all share. This is President Obama, and I urge everyone, not just parents, but friends and neighbors and family members, to take responsibility for encouraging the high school students in your communities, to support them, challenge them, push them a little, and do whatever it takes to help them make it through. Because this is one statistic we simply can't afford to ignore.
You can do your part by going to boostup.org and sending an email, a text message, or even a wake-up call to a student at risk of dropping out. Go to boostup.org and provide the boost that's needed to make it to graduation. A message from the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
And here's the answer to the ASN 4th Inning Trivia Challenge with Brian.
And it goes like this. Against which team did Bobby Thigpen set the record for 57 saves in a season? The year was 1990. The team was the Seattle Mariners. And there's a side note to that. That was also the final game played at Old Comiskey Park, September 30th, 1990. Our trivia challenge today brought to you by Gigahertz, the official computer solutions company of ASN. Gigahertz. And that is where we come in.
Thigpen out of the bullpen.
Yes, indeed.
That was his shining season in the major leagues, and what a season.
What a season it was, 57 saves.
As we go to the bottom of the fourth inning here, ball game tied 1 apiece, and leading it off for the Lions of Victory Christian is the right fielder Ethan Hancock. He's 0 for 1.
Oh, want to look at that again? That's That's your favorite name, Boston Jarvis.
Okay. That is Boston Jarvis. That's right. Hancock did something wrong to end the other inning. So it's Boston Jarvis will lead it off. He's also struck out swinging in the second inning.
There you go.
Thank you for the correction. 1-1 offering from Brogdon is down low.
At least this is not as bad as the book violation last year.
But we persevered.
Yes. What made that so amazing?
That was the first game of the season, if I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Right, okay.
What made that so amazing?
Yes.
You didn't know for 3 innings.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it did look a little strange.
Because, folks, he looked at his book. We went through 3 full innings, and we're getting ready to transfer. I'm getting ready to send it to him for the 4th inning, and we go to a break, and he looks at me and he says, he whispers, "I got the wrong book."
Basketball book. I wasn't even. Whatever. That's what happens when you cross 50. That's ball 4. So Jarvis is able to coax a walk.
If that's the case, I'm in serious trouble with as many notebooks as I carry with me.
So Jarvis with a leadoff walk here in the 4th, and it'll bring up Ben Fiore, who himself walked in the 2nd.
This is why Liz manages my books for me.
Thank God. Runner at first, swung out and missed. Fiore has kind of the same build as a Greg Maddox, has the same number, 31.
Well, that can't be bad.
No.
That can't be bad.
And Maddox was a pretty good hitter as a pitcher, too.
Doesn't he have a couple home runs? Uh-oh.
Pitches hit up in the air, foul territory down the right field line. It'll drop into the first row of the grandstands, right by the bullpen. In case you joined us late, it's the Gavit Gladiators. Gavit from Hammond, Indiana. And the Victory Christian Lions from Valparaiso. We're tied 1-1, bottom of the 4th inning, with Victory Christian runner at first and nobody out. Leadoff walk to Boston Jarvis. This pitch is swung on. It's a line shot. Base hit to right field. He placed it perfectly. It didn't. But he has a rundown. The base runner was caught between second and third, and he's going to be gunned down. Tagged out.
No, he didn't.
He got him. He did tag him out. He did get a piece of him. The third baseman got a piece of Jarvis. That is called running yourself out of an inning potentially.
And where have we seen that before?
Fiore had the base hit. It wasn't hit hard, but he placed it perfectly between the second baseman and first baseman. But for some oddball reason, Boston Jarvis was leaning towards third and was caught off the bag and gets thrown out. So that will be it looks like that'll be
it's a rundown. I'm not even going to try to track it. It's a rundown.
I think it's 4-6-5 on the rundown.
4-6-5, and the second 6 wasn't necessary because the third baseman tagged him.
That's right. So now it's Nathan Nichols, the designated hitter and the number 9 hitter in the lineup for the Lions. He's 0 for 1, flied out to the center fielder to end the second.
And what also is bad, you take a runner out of scoring position.
Exactly. So now 1 out and a runner at first. That is hit number 3 for the Lions, who've also left 5 men on base so far in this ballgame. 4 plus. Swung on and missed.
Nasty pitch
for strike 3. So now 2 out with a runner at first rather than 1 out and 2 runners on. And back to the top of the order, and Joey Verche, the leadoff hitter, number 1 hitter, and the catcher. Verche's 0 for 2. He struck out swinging on the first, grounded out to the second baseman in the third when the Lions scored their 1 run of the game so far. Brogdon takes a look at first from the stretch. Here's the delivery, and it's fouled off. Just out of the reach of a
no doink
Gladiator fan. About maybe 15 rows back. 1 strike to count to Verche. He'll be followed by Evan Wilson, the second baseman.
No doink that time.
Who has the 1 run scored in this game. And has been on base twice. This pitch is down low, evens the count at 1-1. Our second game will feature the Bishop Knoll Warriors. Bishop Knoll from Hammond taking on the Lowell Red Devils from Lowell, Indiana. That's scheduled for 7:30, I believe.
Yep.
Ground ball. That's a base hit.
And that costs a run.
And
maybe not.
No,
maybe not.
They may have gifted him right there. Here comes the runner. Ben Fiore, he'll come around and he will score. Going all the way to third base on the 2-base error is Joey Verche. It's not an RBI because that was simply a base hit to left and turned it into a 2-base error, allowing a run to score. Well, you giveth, you taketh away. And here they did just that. As Fiore comes to score all the way from first base on what should have been at most runners at first and third, but now still 2 out, runner at third in a 2-1 ball game. This pitch is hit up in the air, foul territory. Here we'll go.
Doink!
Into the concourse level. Concourse area.
I don't know about you, but I'm excited to do more baseball this beginning next month, man.
Absolutely.
Especially when we start covering the state playoffs in 2 states now.
Indiana and Illinois.
We're going to be quite busy, folks.
Brogdon's strike 1 pitch. Line shot off the glove of the leaping shortstop. It's going to be a base hit.
A
great attempt by the shortstop for the Gladiator. Shortstop Anthony Gibson almost practically took his glove off his hand as he leaped up in the air on that line shot. That's a base hit and an RBI for Wilson. On the play, Verche comes in to score the second run of the inning, third run of the ballgame. It's now 3-1.
Man.
And it brings up Riesinger. Wilson's got 2. There goes the
runner. Forget it.
And he'll go in sliding with a stolen base, does Evan Wilson, as the ball got past the catcher. Back to the screen. So Wilson, all he's done today is 2 for 2 with a walk, a run scored,
And now a stolen base.
A double, and 2 stolen bases, as a matter of fact. You like to see that out of your number 2 hitter. This pitch is swung on.
Trouble.
Right field. I think it's going to go foul, and it does.
Right at the base of the wall.
That little part that juts out from the stands out by the bullpen.
Dave Laquetta just shot me an email saying he missed us on Friday. He said he even baked me a cake, and I just responded back, well,
sorry,
been kind of sick.
You would not have been able to eat the cake.
No, it would not have been good if I attempted to eat that cake.
Runner at second, 2 out, 2 runs in. This pitch is fouled back up into the
doink
near the public address announcer's perch here down the line.
That'll send them scrambling.
Tommy Williams not here. Tommy Williams, the longtime and only public address announcer for the Gary South Shore Railcats. And, of course, a fine sportscaster from Northwest Indiana.
Yep.
Both television and radio.
I will have him on
public television and public radio.
I will have him on the hot seat on my mic to mic segment. I will have that.
Riesinger swings, hits it up in the air. Right center field. Right fielder fighting the sun. Makes the catch to retire the side. But in the inning, there were 2 runs on 3 hits. There was 1 big error. A walk and 1 man left. We are through 4 complete now with our score. The Victory Christian Lions 3 and the Gavit Gladiators 1. And you're listening to the 12th Annual Railcats High School Baseball Challenge, driven by U.S. Tire and Auto in Gary, Indiana, here on the Arena Sports Network.
Customers with excellent service since 2008. Computer problem? Leave it to the staff at Gigahertz, priding themselves with an unparalleled work ethic and continuing to offer customers the lowest prices around. Gigahertz services include PC repair, networking, PC setup, custom PC builds, pickup and delivery, in addition to in-home and in-office service. Get small to large business solutions, service contracts, and much more. Computer problems? Gigahertz. And that's where we come in. Gigahertz for your computer repair and solution needs. In-home, in-store, wherever it's convenient for you. Think your PC's infected? Gigahertz offers free virus diagnostics, with most virus removals done in 48 hours or less. Plus, they'll optimize your PC. Take that, Best Buy. Give Gigahertz a call. 219-218-9323. That's 219-218-9323. Or log on to gigahertzpc.net. Gigahertz. And that's where we come in.
Top of the 5th inning here at the Steel Yard in Gary. 3-1 now. The Victory Christian Lions, with a 2-run 4th inning, have taken the lead over the Gavit Gladiators. And each team has committed an error. However, you know how it is when you're just struggling and things aren't going your way, as has been the case with Gavit. Their error was that much more glaring, came back to cost them really the inning. 2 runs that would not have. Well, 1 run
not have been scored.
Yeah, maybe neither run would have scored in that inning, if not for the error by the left fielder, a 2-base error that allowed 1 run to come in, and then 1 batter later, the 2nd run to score. So as we go to the 5th inning, it's a 3-1 lead for Victory Christian, and it'll be the bottom of the order for the Lions, or rather for the Gladiators. Brandon Brogdon, the pitcher, will lead it off. It'll be followed by Brandon Thongzawath and John Wilson. I know you love that name. And you wouldn't think twice about that name if, say, a few years ago when a certain piece of apparel wasn't involved.
Yeah, wasn't full bloom.
Slow roller to the pitcher, sidearms it over to first for out number 1. Kind of casually sidearms that one, if I might say.
Okay, so. Dave wrote me back. He was teasing me. He sends well wishes.
Yes.
We'll see you soon, Dave.
Sponge cake. That's right.
Don't say that.
Okay. And here comes Brandon.
And Liz threatened to make me that one
day. Baseman.
Liz threatened to make me that one day.
Strawberry sponge cake.
You know, that don't sound too bad.
That doesn't sound too bad at all.
This is our food inning anyway.
That's right. Brandon Thongzawath is 0 for 1. He grounded out to the second baseman in the 3rd inning. One up, 1 down so far here in the 5th.
What was that place you took me to after we did the Public League Championship for baseball at UIC? What was that place you took me to?
Oh, that's right.
Fontanos.
Yeah, Fontanos.
Y'all need to
sub sandwiches.
We plan to have them as a sponsor very, very soon. Y'all need to visit Fontanos in downtown Chicago.
Well, actually in Taylor Street, right by the
it's
UIC.
Taylor Street. Okay.
Street. Right there on Polk, as a matter of fact, by the UIC campus, right next to the campus.
Oh, they got some lethal subs in there.
Look out! He got a piece of him. Got a piece of him trying to duck out of the way. Blocked his helmet for a bit, just enough to get him over to first base. That is.
I hate taking the hit by pitch.
That's the second time he's hit a batter. He hit the number one hitter in the order, Josh Lumberis, back in the fourth, and that came back to haunt him as Lumberis scored the one run in the game so far for Gavit. Number 9 hitter John Wilson steps up with the runner at first and 1 out. He's 0 for 1. He flied out to his counterpart in center field, center fielder Mac Price, to end the third.
Look out!
Shot down the line. And here comes Thongsawath. He's hesitated at second, and now he's going to make his way to third, as will Wilson make his way to second. That's going to be a base hit and an error on the left field, like it was last inning for Victory Christian.
Here we go again.
So Thongsawath goes to third on the E7. Wilson goes to second. So now runners at second and third with 1 out. And a line shot.
That's going to drop.
In the air.
That's going to drop.
Down the line. It'll drive in a run. Thongsawath hesitated for some reason. He's going to come around to score, closely followed by his teammate John Wilson, who did not hesitate. A 2-run single for Lumberis, and it's now a tie ball game, 3-3.
And unlike the New York Yankees in 1985 against the Chicago White Sox in Yankee Stadium, nobody stumbled, nobody had to go back and tag up. Everybody came around to score in one piece.
That's right. Remember Carlton Fisk?
Yeah.
Nabbed both runners coming around to score. That was a highlight reel that we'll be seeing.
Wasn't it?
So here comes Randy Ferguson, the right fielder.
Look out!
Toss on the first. Diving back is Josh Lumberis.
Well, great job by Gavit fighting back after giving up those 2 unearned runs in the bottom of the fourth inning.
A big 2 RBI single down the right field line by Josh Lumberis has tied this game here in the fifth. We're tied at 3. This pitch foul back. He's had a pretty good ball game. He's been on base all 3 times, Lumberis, thanks to being hit by a pitch, an error on the second baseman, and this one was a very clean single.
Yeah.
Down the right field line. Not a line shot. It was a blooping single, but perfectly placed. This pitch is in tight. Should run the count to 2-1. Ferguson will be followed by George Perez, the first baseman. Toss on the first, just a kind of a charity toss, just to keep Lumberis honest. Back to first. He'll gladly dirty up his uniform sliding back after what he just did and has done so far. Lumberis leading off at first with 1 out and 2 runs in. Fake throw.
Gotten in their heads now.
By the catcher.
They've gotten in their heads now.
Certainly does. This is just what Gavit needed. They've been struggling. That is now the 3rd hit for them. And they didn't get their first hit until the 4th inning. This is ball 4. So now runners at first and second with 1 out.
And now how big of a player is the Shadow going to play in this inning now that the Shadow's creeping toward the mound?
And now we're going to get a visit by Ryan Bratcher, the coach of the Victory Christian Lions. He's going to come out and talk to his pitcher. In both innings where the team each team has scored 2 runs, an error played a key role.
Big time.
Bottom of the 4th for Victory Christian, and now near the top of the 5th for Gavit. Lumberis now at second. Ferguson over at first with 1 out and 2 runs in. And it brings up George Perez. He's 1 for 1 with a walk. He grounded back to the first baseman, who tossed to the pitcher to end the first, and then walked in that 1-run 4th inning, but was left stranded. Left-handed hitting first baseman. Pitch was a little bit upstairs for ball one. Here comes Riesinger's pitch. Swing on a miss for a strike. Up high this time.
Had him chasing that one.
Evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. An exciting game. And as you can tell, evenly played so far. 3-3 our score. Pitches popped up softly.
Infield fly.
Infield fly rule in effect. Runners could not advance if they wanted to. And
they'd advance
the
their own.
Makes the put out.
For those of you that haven't had an infrequent chance to listen to watch or listen to baseball, the infield fly rule with runners on first and second with less than 2 out. If the ball is fair, the runners advance at their own peril.
First pitch to Anthony Gibson is swung on and missed for strike one. Gibson has the other RBI in the ballgame. He drove in a run in the fourth with a base hit to left. Also walked, but was rubbed out trying to steal in the second.
Ooh.
Swung on and missed that another high fastball by
Bring the heat, please.
Riesinger. He sure did. As we pointed out, Riesinger 5'8", but he's got some giddy up on his fastball. And here's the pitch. Swung on, foul back. Count will remain 2 strikes. That went into the bleacher section, the seating, outdoor seating section of the suites that we have here on the second level. Riesinger looks to second and delivers upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. To Anthony Gibson, the shortstop. He'll be followed by Mike Aguiano. This pitch is just a little bit upstairs. Not by much. I do agree with my partner's assessment on that one. That could have been called a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count now. Pitch swung on, ground ball.
Whoops!
Takes a funny hop off the knee of the shortstop. Coming around to score will be Lumbaris. And for the Gladiators retake the lead.
Wow.
That's going to be an error.
How about that?
And now it looks like we're going to have some changes. Now they're bringing out some extra baseballs. The assistant coach bringing out some baseballs.
Extra baseballs.
On the play, going to second base is Ferguson. It is an error on the shortstop that could have ended this inning.
It should have ended the inning.
This pitch is swung on into right center field. Center fielder coming on, makes the catch right in front of his right fielder. For out number 2, coming around. That's out number 3. What are we saying here? That was out number 3. So in the inning, however, for the Gavit Gladiators, 3 runs on 2 hits. There were 2 big errors, a walk, and a total of 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Gavit has retaken the lead. It's the Gladiators 4, the Victory Christian Lions 3, and you're listening to the 12th annual Railcats High School Baseball Challenge. It's driven by U.S. Tire and Auto in Gary, Indiana, right here on ASN.
Do you suffer from severe chronic pain caused by a back or neck injury, migraine headaches, or a work injury? Take heart. Midwest Interventional Spine Specialist is the region's leading provider of minimally invasive, non-surgical pain treatments. For more than a decade, physicians and patients in Munster, Dyer, East Chicago, Hammond, Hobart, Merrillville, St. John, and Valparaiso have turned to Miss First for effective relief of even the most severe and painful conditions. Our board-certified fellowship-trained experts use a wide range of minimally invasive techniques to dramatically relieve your pain. In fact, for more than a decade, Miss Specialists have been first to deliver proven effective treatment innovations for spinal pain and other conditions to patients throughout northwestern Indiana. For more information, pay us a visit at 8840 Calumet Avenue, Suite 103 in Munster, or give us a call at 219-836-7246. The Midwest Interventional Spine Specialist, First in Proven Pain Solutions, first in patient care.
Back and forth we go to the bottom of the 5th inning as the Gavit Gladiators, thanks to a couple of gifts in the top of the inning, scored 3 runs to retake the lead 4-3 over the Victory Christian Lions. Lions will send up their 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up in the 5th. And leading it off will be the center fielder, Mac Price.
All right, I haven't yet to ask you this question, but I've been asked this question so many times, and you being a fellow Chicagoan, I must ask, what is your pizza place of choice?
Well, there's so many good ones. That's it depends on all sorts of things. Is it stuffed pizza, pan pizza? Is it?
All right, let's be specific. Stuffed pizza.
Well, deep dish, I would go with Pizzeria Uno or Gino's East. They were my early favorites. Mac Price takes it down low and inside for ball 1. Thin crust, it's hard to say. I like Villanova that's in Summit.
Yeah.
Villanova's good. Villanova and Stickney. You've had Villanova.
Right.
There's the pitch. Swung on. Ground ball. High hop to the shortstop. Should be easy.
Maybe.
He gets him. Throw is high, but the first baseman kept his foot on the bag. Nice job.
Great job.
By the first baseman, George Perez, to keep his bearings, reach up, get the ball, and still keep his foot on the bag for the out. So Price is retired for the first time in the ballgame after having walked his other 2 appearances. 1 out in the 5th, and it'll bring up Sam Linden, the shortstop for the Lions. And Brogdon's pitch went to bunt it.
Ow.
And the pitch was in tight. He bunted it right off of his shin. And he'll step away for a moment and get his bearings.
And with it being in the shadow now, that's going to sting.
It's gotten a little cooler, especially in the shadow, which have crept up and now virtually have covered home plate and the mound. Pitcher still in the sun. Advantage hitter at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And here's Brogdon's pitch, foul back for strike 2.
Oh,
almost a one-handed catch by one of the fans right behind the dugout. Linden is 1 for 2 in the ballgame. Has an RBI infield single in the 3rd, and he struck out swinging to end the 1st. And the pitch. This one gets past the catcher, back to the backstop. No harm, no foul. Two balls, 2 strikes the count to Sam Linden, the shortstop, with 1 out here in the 5th.
Sam, I am.
Line shot, base hit to right over the outstretched glove of the second baseman. So Linden gets on with his 2nd hit of the ballgame, first clean hit, if you will.
Yeah, because there have been some strange hits in this game.
And it'll bring up Ethan Hancock, the right fielder. Hancock is 0 for 2. Struck out swinging to lead off the 2nd. Flied out to the right fielder to end the 3rd. So, will the Lions be able to return the favor? They scored a run in the 3rd and 2 in the 4th to take a 3-1 lead at that point, but 3 runs by the Gladiators in the top of this inning. And there goes Hancock, or rather Linden, on his way to second base with a stolen base. No throw. So now they got a runner in scoring position with 1 out.
Got to take advantage.
Been a good defensive game up until about the 4th inning when suddenly the wheels started falling off, especially for Victory Christian. But both teams committed an error in the inning that allowed runs to score.
Big time. Big time.
Brogdon from the stretch takes a look at second and delivers. Swung on, popped up in the air. First baseman fighting the sun right at the foul line.
Now we got trouble again.
And it looks like we're going to have...
Out! He's out! Oh, boy. Running his second time.
Sam Linden is going to be thrown out at 3rd. He was caught leaning for some reason on a routine fly ball. I don't know why he would have been off the base. And he is thrown out on the play. So the putout is scored 3-6-5 on the putout and retires the side. In the inning, there were no runs, a hit, a stolen base, nobody left. We're through 5 complete here in Gary. Brian Snow will bring you the rest of the way. You're listening to the 12th Annual Railcats High School Baseball Challenge, driven by U.S. Tire and Auto in Gary, Indiana. You're listening to it on the Arena Sports Network.
Have you heard the good news about a company that started 4 years ago and worked at a relentless pace based entirely upon one simple premise? Have you heard the good news about a place you can go to enjoy positive, community-oriented information about the town, city, or region that you live in and the people involved? Have you heard the good news that you yourself can share stories about this same theme to others in your community? That place is LaPorteCountyLife.com. At LaPorteCountyLife.com, you can celebrate a company that had a crazy dream based on a belief that positive breeds positive, and that people want to read, hear, and watch stuff about good people. At LaPorteCountyLife.com, you can go to a place to enjoy positive, community-oriented information about the town, city, or region that you live in and the people involved. Want to see more? Want to read more? Want to hear more? Then go to LaPorteCountyLife.com. Have you heard the good news?
We go to the top of the sixth inning with the Gavit Gladiators leading the Victory Christian Lions 4-3. And Brian, take us back and along the way.
Tony Gomez will start things off in the sixth, and the first pitch is inside and low for ball one. 4-3, the Gladiators have the lead as we have reached the top of the sixth inning. A little bit after 6 p.m. Central Daylight Time. 1-0 pitch is a strike right down the middle. Counts even 1-1.
Gomez is 0 for 2 in the ball game. He popped out to the second baseman and the second. Grounded into a 6-4-3 double play to end the fourth inning.
And they had a chance to really blow it open in the fourth.
Well, they had the bases loaded with nobody out.
Here's a swing and a ground ball towards second. Second baseman up with it. Takes his time and throws. He got him.
Threw the ball down in the dirt, and the first baseman dropped the ball for a moment, but picked it up with his other hand.
Well, that's why his last name's Frayne. Security reasons. Gabe Frayne picked it up. One down here in the sixth, and Brandon Bogdan.
Brogdon is the pitcher. He's 0 for 2 as well. He'd like to help his own cause right here.
He sure would. The pitch to Broggs. Fastball outside, ball one.
The thing with Brogdon is he is the number 7 hitter, and both times he's come up, he's led off the inning, so nobody on base to drive in.
Here's a swing and a drive towards center. Center fielder coming. Can't get it!
Shortstop went out and made a diving attempt at it, but couldn't reach it either as it drops into shallow center, left center field, if you will. So Brogdon with his first hit of the ball game.
1 out, 1 on. And Brandon Thongswath, the second baseman, will step to the plate.
Thongswath is how you pronounce it.
Thongswath.
But we'll let you slide. Not the easiest.
No.
You have to kind of phonetically pronounce that one. Thongswath scored in the fifth. Now, he grounded out to the second baseman in the third, was hit by a pitch, and came around to score the first of those 3 runs in the fifth inning that have given Gavit the lead.
And now a chance to extend on the lead with a runner at first and 1 down. The pitch to Thongswath is a strike right down the middle. The count's 0-1.
He came around to score on the 2-base error by the left fielder that opened the floodgates, left fielder Boston Jarvis.
Bouncing ball back to the pitcher, turns, throws to second. That's 1, and that's all they'll get as Thongswath will reach on the fielder's choice, 2 down in the inning.
1-4 on the putout, the second baseman taking the throw at second base.
John Mr. Wilson now steps to the plate. And what has Mr. Wilson done today?
He is 1 for 2 in the ballgame with a run scored. Flied out to center in the third, and he singled, came around to score.
And he grounds one to the left side here and through for a base hit. So now Thongswath is at second, and Mr. Wilson is at first, and Josh Lumberis with a chance to get some insurance runs for Gavit. All insurance runs tonight. Brought to you in part by American Family Insurance of Gary, Indiana. Our good friend Joel Drasich is ready to help you get all of your insurance under one roof. And I'm going to drop this little hint to my partner, Mark. We've got 2, possibly 3 big sponsors in the fire coming this summer. First pitch is a strike to Lamberis for strike one.
So Wilson's gotten on twice with clean singles, but it was the two-base error on his base hit in the fifth that opened the floodgates.
Next one's up. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Allowed Thongzawath to score. Wilson then went over to third, and two batters later, or the next batter rather, Josh Lamberis drove in the run.
Next one, outside. 2 balls and a strike.
Gavit getting the hits that they've needed, that they've been struggling with all season, getting the runs as well.
Next one's outside. 3 balls and a strike to Lamberis. 2 out, 2 on. Here in the top of the 6th inning. Let me say hello to a good buddy of mine down in Indianapolis, Mr. Keith Myers, giving us a tune-in from Indiana's capital city. Back to the pitcher. Toss to first in time, and this inning has come to an end. No runs. A hit, 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Time running out for the Lions. They trail 4-3. You're listening to the 12th annual Railcats High School Baseball Challenge, and y'all are hearing it live on the Arena Sports Network.
At Midwest Interventional Spine Specialists, you can trust in Northwest Indiana's first team in pain management. For more than a decade, the MIST team has proudly served the residents of Northwest Indiana, providing accurate diagnosis and innovative treatments for spinal pain and many other types of acute and chronic pain. Each of our physicians has achieved board certification in as many as 3 different specialties. They are actively involved in ongoing research that keeps their practice on the leading edge of the profession and are often called upon by area hospitals to lecture on pain management. Over the years, each has been recognized as a leader in the field and earned a strong reputation for delivering excellent results and genuine compassionate care. To them, nothing is more rewarding than helping patients with severe pain regain the kind of normal, active life that the rest of us take for granted. For more information, pay us a visit at 8840 Calumet Avenue, Suite 103 in Munster, or give us a call at 219-836-7246. The Midwest Interventional Spine Specialists, first in proven pain solutions, first in patient care.
We head to the bottom of the 6th inning here in Gary, Indiana. Mark Farina, Brian Snow here with you, with a little bit of Huey Lewis in the news in the background here at the ballpark this evening.
4-5-1 for the Gavit Gladiators, and 3-6-3. 3 runs, 6 hits, and 3 errors.
In fact, all 4 Gavit runs are unearned.
Yes. They were all assisted by errors.
2
innings in a row.
You know what, folks? I depend on Mark for my library for bumpers when we come back, especially during baseball. So I'm going to talk him out of a few songs. Well, maybe a few more that I need to get back.
Okay. We'll work on it.
This song being one of them. Hip to be square, that describes us.
I think so. Yeah.
And we got a new pitcher in the game.
We certainly do.
And it is a southpaw. What in the world was that?
I'm not really sure. It looks like it is George Perez.
It is. Jorge Perez.
Perez is going to move over into the pitching mound from first base, and it's going to be
Bogdan will go to first.
Exactly.
So that's the only switch. As we see the South Shore roll in to the Gary Metro Transit Center. Again, folks, if you have a chance to come out here to Gary and check out the Railcats, if you want to buy some single tickets, 219-882-BALL, 219-882-2255, or go to railcatsbaseball.com and check out the defending American Association champions. And who do they open the season with on Thursday, May 22nd? The team that they defeated in the championship series, the Wichita Wingnuts. Here is Grant Hancock, who will pinch hit as Perez rocks into the overhead one and delivers a fastball low, ball 1.
Grant Hancock is a freshman. His brother, we've seen today, in right fielder Ethan Hancock.
Joey Verche would be next. 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Correction, Ben Fiore would be next. So Grant Hancock batting in place of Boston Jarvis.
Boston Jarvis was officially 0 for 1 and with a walk.
Next one's a strike, and it's 1-2.
But he committed a really big error.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the difference in the ballgame, really, was that error that opened the floodgates.
1-2 pitch. Bouncing ball to third. Gomez with a long throw. Got him. 1 down in the 6th. And Gomez played it perfectly. He was halfway up on the grass. Here's Ben. That's a Fiore.
That's a right.
I was waiting for
that. Spicy meatball.
I was waiting for that from you.
Fiore, the fine Italian man, has been on base twice with a run scored.
The pitch to Fiore is a strike on the inside corner of the count. I was so waiting for that.
He is officially 1 for 1 in the ball game. He walked in the
my goodness!
Second was left stranded.
0-1 pitch outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Singled and scored in the 4th.
And when you do that spicy beat, I just think of Jim Carrey and The Mask toward the end of that movie. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, and the count's 1-2.
Or the other one, I can't believe I ate the whole thing. Remember that ad campaign for Alka-Seltzer?
Yes. Oh, mercy. The 1-2. Swung on, foul to the right. And we'll do it again.
Kind of slapped at that one. Didn't have the best swing. But he does have a hit in the ball game.
I'll say it again. This is my partner, Mark Farina, and I can't wait to hit the baseball road with him in May and June when we're covering a lot of it. Swing and a miss as Fiore goes down. 2 up, 2 down. Here in the 6th.
First time that he's been retired in the ball game.
Nathan Nichols now steps into the plate.
He's the DH who's been DHing for first baseman Gabe Frayne.
Joey Verche would be next. Perez from the overhead line kicks and deals. Fastball low, and it gets away from the catcher Lumberis. 1 ball, no strikes.
You think of all those little ticky-tacky bruises that these catchers get.
Oh, man.
Even with the
equipment.
Protectors. And
1-0 pitch is a strike on the outside corner with a curve ball, and the count's even 1 ball, 1 strike.
And the home plate umpires would take a beating.
The 1-1 from Perez. Inside corner strike with a fastball, and it's 1-2. And he is locating his pitches beautifully.
And he's working quickly as well, which we always like.
How many times have we spoken about that? 1-2 pitch on the way. See you later.
Nope. Well,
swung on and missed, but this is trouble. To first goes Nichols. He made it. And the tying run reaches. So it goes down as a strikeout, but on the drop third strike, Nichols reaches.
And will that come back to haunt the Gladiators?
How many times have we seen that?
Fortunately, in this situation, there's 2 out. But now Verche is up. And he's the guy that singled and then came around to score on an error by the left fielder. Not the same big 2-runner, or what led to 2 runs.
Perez sets at the chest, looks at first, and comes home. A swing and a drive toward deep left field, but the left fielder camped under it. He's got it. Inning over. Wow. Talk about averting disaster. A drop third strike does no damage. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left. Well, folks, we are going to the money frame. Your score, Gavit Gladiators 4, Victory Christian Lions 3. You're listening to the 12th Annual Railcats High School Baseball Challenge, driven by U.S. Tire and Auto in Gary, Indiana. You're hearing it live on the Arena Sports Network. Looking for a reason to visit U.S. Tire and Auto in Gary, Indiana? Our customers gave us 5 of them. The high standards of quality service and parts, lifetime warranties, a strong business built on honesty and integrity. They've been servicing the Gary community since 1991 and the largest auto and light truck tire dealer in the city of Gary, Indiana. We have a variety of products and services that are instrumental to the health of your car, including our tire fitment guide to help you find the correct size tires for your automobile. Our friendly service staff will quickly outfit your vehicle with a high-quality tire that is right for you. Check out our tire and wheel catalog to give your vehicle the perfect fit.
For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 219-884-4600 or visit us online at www.ustire-auto.com.
As they say in hockey,
you gotta keep them separated.
Well, I got to tell you, speaking of hockey, those are two devastating losses that the Blackhawks have suffered.
But it's still a long series.
But
it's still two tough losses.
Because you can't. Now you got to win both in Chicago. You don't want to go back to St. Louis
down 3-1.
3-1 puts the pressure, and they were both games that they should have won
easily.
Both games that they should have won that they came from.
Time now to go to the money frame presented by Wood Forest Bank of Michigan City. Wood Forest Bank, your local bank for you. Randy Ferguson will start things off.
The only good news so far out of Chicago sports is the Cubs
win 8-4.
They won 8-4 over at Wrigley Field, defeating the Cincinnati Reds.
A strike call to Ferguson begins the Wood Forest money frame. 0-1. The 0-1 pitch slapped foul to the right side.
Looks like Edwin Jackson had a decent outing for the Cubs.
Is he going to come up big for them this year?
I don't know.
Because I looked at a couple of his outings. He struggled bad. 0-2 swung on and hit foul out of play to the right.
He got the win. He's now 1-1 on the season. Cubs played long ball a little bit in this ball game.
Oh, really?
Wellington Castillo with a home run. Darwin Barney with a 2-run shot. And Mike Olt with a solo shot. Olt.
Mike what? Alt?
Yes.
Okay.
Alt?
I don't know. Next one. Fastball outside.
Alt, that's right. Alt.
Alt!
Now, I'm reading it off of my ESPN feed, and they spelled it O-L-T.
Swinging a drive toward left center field and through for a base hit.
I mean, I should know the difference, but they
yes,
but they misspelled it on the.
It wasn't us this time. We promise it wasn't us.
Okay.
So Ferguson's on with a base hit, and that'll bring up the pitcher, Jorge Perez, into the left-handed batter's box.
He's been on base, Ferguson, now for the third time in a row, thanks to a walk and an error earlier.
I tell you, when we go to Joliet for state finals, we're parking somewhere different. Swing and a miss on Perez for strike one. And the reason being, I don't want us to run into a threat like Evan Skog with the bases loaded.
Wow.
And that was the first pitch he saw, too, when he hit that slam. Tossed to first, runner back.
That's right.
And, I mean, it was – everybody in the park, even us in the media booth, knew it was gone when it hit the bat.
And one thing here in this ballpark, especially to left field.
Here's a little looper toward third baseman. Coming in, he's got it in foul territory.
Nice play.
Hang a star on that one. One down in the money frame.
If you hit it to left, you better get it up in the air because that is a very tall wall. It's probably about 15 feet tall.
If you get it in center field, same thing.
Yeah.
You got to clear two walls in center field.
The wall just... The easiest part to hit it to in terms of the wall is right field.
Run it. Here's the pitch outside, ball one.
That's no more than about a 10-foot wall.
Well, when we did the Public League Championship at UIC...
didn't matter.
No, it didn't.
On that one home run, yeah.
Fastball upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes to Anthony Gibson.
Young man from Simeon.
Was it Clifford Ray who hit? Was it...
I can't remember. I can look back probably.
Because it started the 7th inning. 2-0 pitch. Swung on and popped towards center. Center fielder coming in. He'll make the catch. 2 down in the 7th inning.
Gavit would certainly like to get an insurance run or two here.
Or 2 or 3.
Because they have not been scoring a lot of runs. In this case, they've got 4 on the board. And that's actually almost as many as they had scored the entire season coming into this game. They only had 6 runs in their 5 games.
Yeah.
So they've
satisfying. They've had the output going. Here's a swing and a line drive toward left center field and down for a base hit. not only have they had the runs going, the bats have been going also.
Aguiano with his first hit of the ball game after being 0 for 3. And here comes Gomez.
If there's ever a fella that needed a base hit, he's coming to the plate right now.
Gomez 0 for 3 in the ballgame, popped out to the second baseman to end the first, grounded into a 6-4-3 double play to end the fourth, and led off the fifth with a ground out to the second baseman.
The pitch to Gomez is a strike, and it's 0-1.
Four runs on 7 hits now for the Gladiators.
And you wouldn't, the way this pitcher's duel was going, you wouldn't think Gavit would get a hit in the game. Fastball outside, that'll even the count 1-1.
And they didn't get their first hit until that one run in the fourth inning.
Right.
An RBI single by Anthony Gibson.
The 1-1, swing and a miss. And the count's 1-2. Bogdan sets at the chest, kicks and deals. Fastball outside. And that'll even it 2-2.
For a big guy, Gomez has pretty good range.
Mm-hmm. We saw that in the rundown and throw to first earlier in the game today.
4-3. Gladiators lead it here on the top of the seventh. They've got a runner in scoring position at second.
And they'd love to take advantage of this. Next one. Called strike 3. What a pitch! What a pitch!
From a slider
on the inside corner.
And Gomez knew it. He turned to the umpire and said he was agreeing with him. He said, "Yeah, that was a strike. I know it."
He knew he had been tricked. He knew he'd been tricked.
Hard slider for a strikeout.
No runs, 2 hits, and a pair left. Last chance for the Lions. They trail 4-3 as you're listening to the 12th Annual Railcats High School Baseball Challenge, driven by U.S. Tire and Auto in Gary, Indiana, on ASN.
When your vehicle needs service, look no further than Sowers Ford, a Ford dealer like no other. Our state-of-the-art service department is fully staffed with certified technicians who can handle anything from routine maintenance to the most difficult diesel repair. Brakes, tires, and batteries. Sowers Ford service has it all. Sowers Ford, serving Michigan City and surrounding communities. Sowers Ford Lincoln, 3930 Franklin, Michigan City, 219-879-5381, or visit us at SowersFord.com.
At Strack & Van Til, we just made saving on groceries even easier with our new building blocks of value. Just look for the new icons all around the store to find our weekly advertised specials, everyday smart buys, exclusive limited time offers, new lower prices, and even extra rewards. These bright, colorful icons are all about building honest, uncomplicated value, one block at a time, and giving you more ways to save every day. To learn more, visit ValueMeansMore.com today.
Techno music.
Actually, this sounds familiar. Oh, hi, we're back. That's Mark, I'm Brian. We go to the bottom of the Money Frame. Money Frame today presented by Wood Forest Bank of Michigan City. You know what this music is from?
What's it from?
They would play this whenever the Bears would score a touchdown at Soldier Field.
I never heard it because
Well, that's because there were like 63,000 people yelling their brains out.
That's right. And our good friend, the incomparable PA announcer, Jim Revant.
Yes.
Bears and longtime at DePaul basketball.
Evan Wilson starts things off by taking the ball outside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. As this is it for Victory Christian. They trail 4-3 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Perez into the overhead wind, delivers a fastball right down the middle for a strike, and the count is 1-1. What are you looking for now?
The heat control. I think I have it back there, but it's still a little warm in here.
Next one. Ouch!
Did he get a piece of
Nearly
him?
caught him in the back, but it's up and in. 2 balls and a strike.
Nearly caught him in the back of the helmet. The head.
Those kind of pitches scare me. Perez is ready. From the overhead wind, the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a foul out of play. And the count's now even at 2-2. That's scary.
Calvin Riesinger, the pitcher, on deck.
He's on the hook for the loss. Meanwhile, Brandon Bogdan.
And if he loses it, it will be his defense that
lost it for him. Next one. Called strike 3 inside corner. One down in the bottom of the 7th inning.
And that's a huge guy to get out of the lineup after him being on base 3 times with a couple of hits and a run scored. Big out in the scheme of things for the relief pitcher.
Perez.
Yeah, Perez. That was a big strikeout. A big guy to get out of there.
First pitch inside, ball 1 to Riesinger.
Riesinger did a fine job skipping rope on that one.
Yeah, play a little jump rope on that. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 down here in the 7th inning.
Well, the key there with Wilson, too, not only the fact that he'd been on 3 times.
Here's a swing and a pop towards center. Center fielder coming in, long way to go, and he won't get there. So Riesinger on with a base hit, representing the tying run.
And his first hit of the ball game after flying out 3 times, twice to the center fielder and once to the right fielder.
So a chance now for the Lions. They have the tying run on. And there is Mac Price.
Another guy that's been on base a couple times with a couple of walks and a ground out. But it was left stranded both times.
Gomez creeps in at third. Runner takes off, throw to second. Chief!
Price showed bunt. Third baseman charged in from his position on the grass. But a good jump by Riesinger for the stolen base.
So the tying run now in scoring position with 1 down here in the 7th, and Mac Price a chance to come through.
5th stolen base of the game for the Lions.
Perez out of the stretch, the pitch. Fastball strike. That'll even the count 1-1.
Another guy that's been on base with a couple of hits, Sam Linden on deck.
Need to do something here. They trail by 1 to the Lions 4-3. Out of the stretch with a look to second, and Perez turns, fakes the throw. 2 years ago, Victory Christian trailed Gary Westside 4-1 and came up with a 4-run rally in the 7th inning to win it. Or they came up with a rally. Here's a swing and a base hit in the left. Around third comes Bogdan, headed home. He will score, and we have a tie game.
Well, Price, for the first time, gets on base safely with a hit, and what better timing than that?
You can't time it any better than that.
Solid single to left. Coming in is Riesinger, and boy, that's a weight off his shoulders.
Big weight off his shoulders.
And he started the inning with a solid bloop single to right center field.
So Riesinger is now off the hook after scoring the tying run. First pitch low and inside to Sam Linden for ball 1. Need to make a correction. They tied the score, did Victory Christian, in the 7th inning and won it in the 9th inning.
That's right.
Against Gary Westside 2 years ago.
That's right, Jack.
Won it in the bottom of the 9th inning. In fact, they trailed by 1 in the bottom of the 9th, and then they won it. Runner fakes going. Fastball inside corner strike. That'll even the count 1-1 as Sam Linden jumped out of the way. So Perez down for a blown save. And that also means that Bogdan cannot win the game. Perez will be on the hook for the loss if the Lions come back and if the Lions get this run across. Runner takes off, swing and a miss, throw to second, safe.
And he went in standing on that one.
I think he wanted to slide, but didn't have enough room to slide.
But you know, that's the kind of situation where you can pull a muscle pretty easily.
Yeah.
You know, where you can't make up your mind and you kind of stumble into second base. But it didn't hurt him this time.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Stolen base number 6 now for the Lions.
1-2 pitch, slashed, foul down the right field line. Holy cow.
Second stolen base of the game for Mac Price.
And that nearly won it. So Price, the winning run at second. There's something about Victory Christian being here at the Steel Yard.
Victory?
I rest my case.
Yeah, and it would be a tough loss for Gavit.
It would.
It really would be. on top of the struggles they've had this season.
Perez deals. Called strike 3 outside corner. 2 down in the inning.
Second time Linden has gone down striking out. He struck out swinging in the first. So it'll be left up to Ethan Hancock to try to drive in the run with 2 out and a runner in scoring position.
Price leads away at second. 2 down in the 7th. And the pitch. Fastball up. Ball 1.
Price, Hancock is 0 for 3, so he's overdue. A strikeout, a fly out to right, and a pop out to the first baseman. He's ended 2 innings for them.
The pitch. Swung on. Down the right field line, and that could do it. Around third comes Price. He's headed home. He's going to score, and I rest my case.
They do it again on an RBI single by Ethan Hancock just outside the outreached glove of the pitcher, or was the pitcher, Brandon Bogdan.
5-4 the final. Victory Christian comes back yet again. They get 2 in the money frame to win it. And this is on top of the fact that Gavit had a chance to add to the lead with a runner in scoring position in the top of this inning. But give Victory Christian credit. They may have had 3 errors in the game, but they also have 5 runs and now 8 hits. And that's it.
Wow. That's the only way you can say it. A come from behind. Twice they've come from behind in this ballgame to win it.
Because they took the lead earlier in the game. They led 3-1, only to see Gavit put up 3 runs and led 4-3. And Victory Christian comes back to win 5-4. Final totals on the board look like this for Victory Christian. 5 runs, 8 hits, 3 errors, and 6 left on base. For the Gladiators, 4 runs, 7 hits, and an error. They also left 6 on base. Riesinger will wind up getting the win as he did go the distance. Perez takes the loss as this game was played in 1 hour and 57 minutes.
Well, Victory Christian does it the second time for us.
Mm-hmm.
They did it last season in the challenge, and they are living up to their motto of victory.
I was going to say, what is with
victory at the Steel Yard?
Yes, victory at the Steel Yard yet again.
And that's got to be a crushing loss to Gavit because they had this game in control.
They did.
Looking for their first win of the season, and that's why you play the game.
Exactly why you play the game. One more time, your final. Victory Christian 5 and Gavit 4. That'll do it for our first game of our doubleheader here. Mark and I are going to get a snack, and then we'll come back with Game 2 here from the Steel Yard in Gary. And Game 2 features the Bishop Knoll Warriors and the Lowell Red Devils. Oh, this could get scary. Red Devils and Warriors will come your way in about 45 minutes, and we'll be back 15 minutes prior with the U.S. Tire and Auto pregame show. 5-4 your final. Victory Christian wins it. For Mark Farina, I'm Brian Snow. We're going to get something to eat and take a break. We'll come back with Game 2. You're listening to the 12th Annual Railcats High School Baseball Challenge, driven by U.S. Tire and Auto of Gary, Indiana, on ASN.